All right, we're in business. We're in business. Let me go back here and see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see. I should be up. Yep, I'm in business. Peace, fam. Thanks for coming through. Those who came through, those who are gonna come through, those in the clouds. It's the deal. Yeah, man. So I'm feeling good. The Mets won. You know, couple of days off. Just got a few. Just had some time. I just figured, why not? I thought I was gonna make this video I wanted to make it just a video and upload. I'm still working on the uploads. The uploads aren't as easy as some think. I'm trying to get my editing skills up so I can do uploading. But I did want to. I said to hell with it. Let me just go ahead and review it live. Fair use, by the way. This brother basically bucks up on Tariq and got all of his minions in a tizzy. But, he was pretty thorough. But in my opinion, could have been more. A little bit more that could have been done because, he said earlier that he couldn't do it all. But let me just make sure I get some other people through as some of y'all come in. And let's just go with the intro.
Marijuana by name, ganja flowing through my vein, going to my brain. It's like this, it's like this.
When you see, I wonder why. You must be the high grade in your eyes. You look like you're about to fight. High grade. I don't care what I say. We're gonna burn it anyway. Black blood alone smoke a whole party.
So me say ganja me smoke every day. 15, 16 spliff a day. Good purple skunk from me as say. Move out of my way, me make me weed entry. Hold on weed a bun more than a century. Go and farm a man, just go and farm me. And one ganja man, just go and plant it. Cause every time you do that, you do it for me.
When you look sleepy, I wonder why. You must be the high grade in your eye. When you look like you're about to fight. This high
just got some smoking take off your wings, youth man, and fly like a bird high in the sky, and let them know that you are conquering lion, coming from the tribe of Judah. Some backbiter don't have no roots and culture. Leave them alone, them are go burn in a fire. Fire. I don't forget my pussy that's young. I see it to guide us tonight. I don't forget my pussy that's young. I see it to guide us tonight. If it wasn't for my foolish pride, baby you'd be right by my side. But still I just can't deny that this should have been love. Alright, but I never promised you no roses. Valentine's chocolates and I don't think I'll cozy. Me don't hear about the talks, I have the little things I don't. I know I recognize it, but I never meant to break your heart. The heartbroken of the process. I wish I never was so smart. The time has come to pass. Every moment I remember now I share right. Baby, I've been hurting and since you walked out my life. And still I just can't hide that this should have been love. Alright, if it wasn't for my foolish pride, baby, you'd be right by my side. And still I just can't deny that this should have been, could have been love. Alright, could it have been the car when me drive? Or could it have been the herb fishing no light? I dream me day, I stroll late at night. Make you feel say me, I keep another life. Still should never stay, because I stay with it. I state of emergency, because I stay with it. I stay, why? My father left me from the dream. Sirens from the street, shot seas, police and soldier on the sea, yeah. Sirens from the street, shot seas, sirens from the street, shot seas, police and soldier on the sea, sirens from the street, shot seas, just like mama cooking pot, TNT get hot, sophisticated weapons get away from them black. Beat them like a shot, giant and lick it back. Trade union workers, government, them attack. That cause a state of emergency. Because a state, because a state of emergency. Because it's nigga a state, my love, in a being Simon finally
television and religion are the tools of Babylon implement. Corrupting children, they are the reason we want Babylon from season to season. Hey, they want to come for them and come make we chant him down. Great power and sound. Children, they are the reason we want Babylon from season to season. Hey, they want to come for them and come make we chant him down. Great power and sound.
I'm keeping it real. So we are live, we live and let's live. So we are live, I'm keeping it real. So real, yeah. So we are live, we live and it's big. As a man, you must be able to find work and put food on the table. There's no time to sit around to play the fool or be around. Independence of player haters, real hustlers and gold diggers. Now I've no time to watch the face. Them kind of people don't have no place. I'm keeping it real. So we are live, we live and let's live. So we are live, I'm keeping it real. So real, yeah. So we are live, we live and let's live.
teaching. You work hard, you must get paid to live good for another day.
Ease up, no bother with the tension. I say no bother with the stress. I say to ease up, we are deal with progress. Peace and love and happiness. I say to ease up, we don't need no commotion, 'cause everything is darkness. I say to ease up, no bother try to pressure me, and that is where I rest. 'Cause I remember when me had a yammy, me used to run dance all club and party. And outside of the club and see them hostility, them can't bring that on we. Rabba every day upon us still down. The DJ round the mic and him a keep the place strong. Now bother come here so like you are raging star. You can't bring that on we. We say to ease up, no bother with the tension. I say no bother with the stress. I say to ease up, we are deal with progress. I say love and happiness. I say to ease up, we no need no commotion, 'cause everything is godless. I say to ease up, no bother try to question me, that is where I rest. I know the time is getting late, like balance in the race. I try to get my children fed, meanwhile my shoes are begging bread. Yes, I know them times are hard.
All right. Hold on. Gee. All right. Listen, peace out to anybody and everyone who's come in the building, and all those out in the clouds. What's happening, man? Yeah, let's get into this right away. Yeah, I'm gonna speed it up a bit. This YouTuber who has a number of reaction videos go by the name of Cam James. He is, how should I put it? He rolls with a very, I should say, he is pretty very far left per se. Um, I know him and this other guy that FD Singinger. I hope I said his name right. And there's this other woman, Earlene. I know I'm this. I believe she's from Haiti. I know I'm chopping up her name. Um, but she used to be on the Breakfast Club. I don't know if she's there. I don't know if she was a guest, but um, yeah, she was giving Mayor Adams some work. She's a lawyer, and she has some pretty good takes, and I have listened to them, but they go very far to the left. You know what I mean? As in, like if we're sitting down, for example, and we're going to get into this a little bit later. Um, if they're doing a panel, they feel at the need to identify themselves as he and him or her and she. Which I think that's I'm not with that, because damn, I mean, if you can't see that a person's a man or a person's a woman, I don't know why you have to label yourself. But having said that, whatever, they are allies of that community. But he did manage to catch up to Tariq Nasheed. And I'm just going to go through this real quick. As I said, I wanted to make this an upload. I'm trying to get my upload game as far as how I present it, how I write it, how I edit it, because there is a science to doing that. All right. I want to make it professional, kind of like New York Times does, or the Watch. Like some people do pretty good uploads, and I'm trying to get that up. So I just figure I get this out of the way. Long overdue. Let me just say hello to everybody in the chat. ERA, Pakeo, Lisa Johnson, what's up? Funk Soldier. Yeah, this is Jamaican music, of course. The token black dude. I mean, like I said, they are, there are certain things that they, well, put it like this. I agree with more things with them than I disagree with. Let's put it like that. All right. I mean, and this woman's name, let me just make sure I have her name right, because I know I chopped up her name. I believe she's from Haiti, if I'm correct. Her name, it starts with an O. It starts with an O. Yeah, or Alorantani. Alorantani. Alorantani, that's her name. But let's get it started. Let's get right into the video because, like I said, I think he made some very good points. By the way, hit the like button, hit the share, and hit subscribe, and you get the chance. Also, the Cash App sitting right there. Let me go ahead and pin that up so you don't miss that. You know what I mean? And yeah, this. Hold on, let me go into this, man. My live. Give me a sec. Because I definitely got to. Okay, y'all can hear me though, which is good. Y'all can hear me now. So the Cash App's right up there, pinned in the message. So if you want to donate to the channel, that's good. I don't even think I don't. I'm not monetized. What the hell? I'm supposed to be monetized. I don't see my monetization. I'm supposed to have super chat. What's going on with that? Uh, that is weird. I got to speak to YouTube about that. What's up, Identity Without? Nice to see you. Been a minute. Uh, just a quick thing, by the way. There's a store in Brooklyn, right? And I'm sure the store's got to be on YouTube. Matter of fact, let me go find a store. It's called. I mean, Q Butter knows what it is because that's right in his wheelbarrow. Nicholas Brooklyn. Nicholas Brooklyn. This store right here, Nicholas Brooklyn. Hold on, because I know that it's got to be on YouTube somewhere because I did a video because Umar was in front of that store, of all people. But here it is, Nicholas Brooklyn. Let me get off this for a minute. Um, let me go. Yeah, let me share the screen. Nicholas Brooklyn. Here we go. I was there yesterday because yesterday, as you know, was Boycott Africans Day. All right. Now, what these idiots don't understand is that a boycott is not one day, it's not one week to be effective. Like this Target boycott is turning out to be a bit effective. I haven't been to Target since the boycott. Now, I used to go there, and by the way, put ones up if you hear me, okay? Put ones up if you hear me. Want to make sure that I'm not, yes, over by Fulton. Just put some ones up if you hear me. Well, you can't hear me because you are responding. But yeah, I met this lady right here. This is the owner, I believe it is. Yeah, she's the owner. She's the owner. I saw her yesterday. They were about to close. I just wanted to catch up and get something from there. This is Nicholas, the Nicholas store. She's the owner again. So I walked up to her and I said, yeah, just wanted to come in and catch you guys before you close. Here it is. This, of course, Red Pill was there. Yes, and not a big fan, but yeah, I wanted to catch up because, as you know, today is Ban African Stores Day, and she was like, "What's that?" You know what I'm saying? She doesn't know. She doesn't even know. So I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to be protesting the African stores. They're like, oh, I'm not with that. I don't know about all that. And I didn't mention the name of the person who started that the group because we're getting into him today, but it really hasn't hit to the outside as yet. It hasn't come to the outside. It will though. And as you can see, because look, she's in business. She's a businesswoman. So look, if Umar comes there or one of these guys, I understand. Yeah, Nicholas Brooklyn, this is it. I understand she's a businesswoman. I'm not gonna go at attack them for doing business. And she sells herbs and she sells health stuff there. And they've been around a while. It's pretty impressive because they're right on Fulton Avenue, and it's New York's expensive. So good for them that they've been around a while, but they don't know about this stuff. I'm sure if they're online, they probably heard a little, but it's not really, it hasn't really gotten to the outside world like that. So let me go ahead, right? No, they didn't boycott that store, but let's go ahead. Let's get into this video right from the start. Again, this is Cam James, and we're gonna stop and start, and I'll just make points as we go along. But yeah, he really gets into the grift, and he's pissed. This dude's pissed. So let's go ahead and get into it. Thanks for everyone for coming through. Again, hit the like button as soon as you walk in the door. And let's see, she is screamed. There we go. Okay, let's get it started. And let's speed it up to fair use, fair use. Okay, we sped it up a little bit. I may just cut through certain things because some of it is just not, doesn't matter. Like this right here. Let's go.
The time to come together was on November 5th.
Yeah, like this woman. This woman's a disgrace. She really is. She basically came during the election, super Democrat, blah blah blah, but she's an algorithm chaser, as are a couple of others too. I'll get into them.
Sound familiar? They suggested it because they knew then what I know now, that he's expending some money to get some J's and trying my best to conquer my loner tendencies enough to get a date. I got past it though. Went to college, worked in ad agencies while rapping, discovered filmmaking, and transitioned to YouTube years later. I stopped desiring fame before YouTube came along because it looks like a headache. The pursuit of clout evolved into chasing impact. A year ago, my viewers started asking me to cover somebody called Tariq Nasheed, a former rapper, indie filmmaker, and YouTuber. Sound familiar? They suggested it because they knew then what I know now, that he's exploiting black pain for profit, and very much still in his clout chasing era. Wait, before you click off the video, hear me out. What I'm about to say next is for FBAs, black people that descended from American slaves on at least one parent's side. I love y'all too much to allow this to happen to us. I say us because I'm a foundational black YouTube American. Why is that definition of FBA the official one? Because King Flex said so. Who invented the term? Again, that was K Flex. Tariq Elite, Marcus, a lot of aliases. FBAs have gotten real inflammatory toward non-FBAs on the internet, to say the least. And we're going to address that because I made this for you. I can roast Tariq in 5 minutes, but it's more important that we address the separation, the them versus us mentality. I understand where black American anger and exhaustion stems from. We have been under attack by America's power structure for hundreds of years. We do deserve reparations, whether monetary or otherwise. Most of the conspiracy theories Tariq and others come up with are ridiculous, but some of them are true.
So they get people like Candace Owens, and they turn.
Guys, I just want to stop here for a second. Look at the guy who you put look at the guy who you put in charge of your reparations movement. Look at this shit, bro. I just want you to look at this for a second. All right. And there's so many other images. Look at the guy who you put in charge of your motherfucking reparations movement, bro. Look at this shit. Look at this. This is obviously he's prepping up for the man unit. But come on, dude. Like seriously. Seriously. This right here is the guy, and he talks about hairlines. He has a little, like, look at this. Literally filling in a hairline, and this is the man who you got for your reparations movement, bro. Let's continue.
Turn her into a collaborator with the white supremacist system. They elevate her to some type of spokesperson status. Candace Owens is only known for getting pushed into the limelight to talk negatively about black people.
Here's what we won't be talking about in this video. Tariq's family, his terrible rap songs, overly auto-tuned funk music, or his physical appearance. This also isn't a full review of his documentaries, but we'll touch on those.
Well, excuse me, I had to do that. So I know you aren't, but come on, guys.
Whenever possible, I'll be citing sources in the description and on screen. I'm gonna use his own words to prove every allegation I make. I obviously can't cover everything he's ever done either. The man's been running his mouth for longer than I've been in the workforce. Here's what I'll be proving. To recreate almost all of his fundraisers and all of his movements in an effort to enrich himself. Uses black rage and trauma to sell products, despises women and queer people, and couldn't lead his way out of a cardboard box, much less to reparations for us. When I reached out to Tariq for a comment on this piece, he responded immediately, called me a federal enforcement asset.
Now, I just check my shorts. Who works for the government out here, or who's working with people for the government? Okay, so this is, hold on, let me get the CC off so you can at least read. All right, God, oh, all right. No, yeah, I do want to do that. No, I want to get that off. Yeah, guys, look at this. The frame of your questions are extremely bad faith. What's a member of FBA? How do you become a member of a lineage? This is the trick bag that this guy's been using for all this time, the member, the lineage. But yet they don't prove their lineage at all. The framing of your what narrative sounds as like some type of federal enforcement asset. Guys, didn't look at all these people use the same shit. He does this, Umar does this, Jay Morrison does this, Polite did this. Anytime you ask questions, federal informant asset. Just a quick question. If you're the feds, right, and you're trying to string along black people, and you're trying to infiltrate, who would you take? Would you take this plain this plain looking dude, this plain looking black man, no flash, no um no swag per se, or no nothing? Or would you choose a clown like Tariq driving out in a Bentley, claiming he lives rich and he's super mega rich and so on? Who would you choose if you were the feds? You tell me. Who are you choosing? But yet he uses this and his dumbass followers believe in this, deliberately trying to misrepresent something or create a false narrative. You'll see ain't nothing false about
I
the
was asking
narrative.
questions about he put on his own website. Believe it or not, I'm actually going to start with what we agreed.
This is what this man wrote on his website. Some self-declared members of FBA accuse black immigrants of being anchored tethers, and official website. Uh, had to sneeze. Sorry. Implying that they're taking resources from FBA, just missing a sheet to support this view of black immigrants.
Know. List ain't long, but there is a list.
Well. Yeah, let me get past this. Hold on. They're playing music here. All right. Now, let's continue. Part 2. Or
I have in common with Tariq. We're black Americans. We both have 2 black American parents, and we both have black American names too. His is Marcus Vincent Thomas.
And Tariq Nasheed not Jamaican?
His name is.
Listen to this. This exchange is funny. This is the other guy, FD Signifer. Again, these guys, man, I agree with more than I disagree when I've listened to their politics and listened to him. But he has some good takes on hip hop. This FD Signifer, but they are, like I said, a little further left than most. But let's continue.
Marcus Vincent Thomas.
Marcus Vincent Thomas don't got a Jamaican granddaddy? Marcus Vincent Thomas?
I can't find the proof for that, but Vincent, I mean, it's a possibility.
Every guy I know named Marcus Vincent Thomas is straight off the banana boat.
No, 100%. A lot of y'all already knew that, but I found it out in this court document from when he was sued.
Yeah, and now we're going to talk about Taharka Bay. And this guy breaks down the Taharka Bay thing, and I'm going to tell you something. I've told you this before. Taharka Bay stuck with this, and Tariq Nasheed couldn't shake him. The other people kind of went away because he roasted him so much. He didn't care about that. Let's continue.
For defamation 2 years ago by Taharka Bay, a social media personality he called a sex offender on YouTube after finding alleged proof that the court threw out.
We're the Taharka Bay supporters. This jazz domestic violence, abusive ass pervert who's a sex offender who's registered.
Tariq misinterpreted a document that had a Y next to the database for registered sex offenders and thought it meant Bay was one, even though it only means the authorities checked that database for his name.
Again, guys, this guy doesn't check anything. So if he doesn't check something as important as this is slander. Do you understand? This guy, Taharka Bay, is now suing this dude for slander. All right. And you will get extracted money. The money will be extracted if it's proven you've done that. Ask Tasha K. Ask Candace Owens in a few months. She got a whole a leader of a country suing her. And she thinks it's fun and games. You will be paying out if it's proven that you slandered the person. And something like this, that this dude's a chomo, and if people that he works with, he's a contractor, that can hurt his business. Well, he stuck with it, and now, the court proceedings seems to be going in Taharka's favor. Let's continue.
Intake form, MOSOR, registered lifetime sex offender, yes. And then he would convince his audience that means that I'm a lifetime sex offender. Well, that's not what that means. You can go on the registry and you can type my name in and you'll be able to find out if I am one of those folks. The guy doubles down and says, oh, if you're a Fed, you can get it taken off your record. Like, what?
Yeah,
everybody's a Fed. Everybody. Listen, I just want to remind you here, because obviously this is going to be, this is something that's going to continually be taken, and his followers are dumb as hell. So to his stupid followers, let me just play this for you so that you'd at least see it. I played it in my last video. You're going to get it again. All right. This is your boy, Sneaky Ricky. He's calling everybody a Fed. And I've heard everybody with all the excuses and the cap when I was explaining that, hey, he works with these type of people, but let's go ahead. Hold on.
Oh Lord, I gotta fight.
Hey, bro, who's starting? First of all, who is that bitch?
It's a nobody. She's a
Don't get me started,
nobody.
because you know I'm gonna find some receipts.
He's talking about Yvette Cornell. This is like a day or two after he was thrown out because they caught him trying to infiltrate. So he got in his feelings and he said he's going to go after Yvette Cornell. And this is one of his followers of Mexican descent right out here in New York City. All right. But let's listen.
On that ass.
Yeah.
You know I can find some receipts.
No doubt.
It don't matter what state, not just love, but it's the team. We a team.
No doubt. Absolutely.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Out there in New York, dear.
Everything is it's weird because I work for the government. My job is kind of crazy, but
we'll chop it up.
I am
We'll
a
chop it
person
up.
that works for the government. It's clear that I do.
It's clear that he does. And yes, what's up, last call? Yes, I have it right underneath, but I guess I'm going to have to read this again. So let me get right into it. Hold on a second, so that I guess we'll have to read it again. All right. Fair use policy. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips for the balance in favor of fair use. All right. All right. Let's continue with the program. And shout out to everybody that's come in. Oh, hold on. Hold on one sec. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so yeah, I just want to understand when he keeps saying that that such and such is a Fed, moves to complaint, court denies the motion, blah blah blah. Let's continue.
He's probably gonna have to pay that man. Him spraying lies all over YouTube is gonna be a running
and
thing. Y'all should
see this. Hold on, let me go back, because as you can see, Tariq Nasheed defended. This is in the court documents, folks. Specifically moves to strike the complaint. The court denies to Nasheed's motion. That means he tried to stop it. Still like, nah, we're going through with it. And they're still in proceedings to that right now, as I'm speaking. So yeah, he kept his foot in his neck. Let's continue.
Spraying lies all over YouTube is going to be a running theme. Y'all should settle in and get used to it. We don't support the Democrat Party. Tariq doesn't support the Democrats for one reason. He thinks they haven't provided anything tangible for FBAs. And he doesn't appreciate how Black people are constantly expected to vote for them. The FBA movement actually started as the hashtag Tangibles 2020 movement before he tried to burn ADOS, or the American Descendants of Slaves organization, to the ground so he could shine. In the last election, I pushed my viewers away from Trump because he represents an existential threat to every underrepresented group in the country. I wasn't waving the Kamala flag. I even criticized her, but I did vote for her. She was the only realistic choice if we wanted to avoid Project 2025.
Actually, sir, you see, this is where it's capped. This is that two-party system where there were other parties. I think I've explained this in was it my last video? I need to see, because I probably was in the. Actually, it was in the. Yep, it was on the rolling video. I explained this already. All right, there were tons of other parties. There were 3 other candidates that had reparations and tangibles in their reparations and tangibles that they had written down as one of their proponents, that they wanted to get reparations. The Green Party had reparations as part of their platform. That was part of their platform. Right. And as I said, Jason Black, aka Jeremy, just steamrolled the candidates for the Green Party when they were telling him that, yeah, we are for reparations, as was Cornel West, as was Marianne Williamson, Jill Stein of the Green Party, all wanted reparations. Why didn't you promote them? So no, Kamala was not going to give you reparations, but the point is neither was Trump. And they push you towards Trump. Let's continue.
which is happening right now. And I told y'all about Project 2025. Nobody listened to me. We dislike the mainstream media. I mean, we both decided to build our own audiences and correct what we see as falsehoods. So it seems like we're on the same page on this one. Disliking all of the mainstream media is necessary when you're attempting to inspire blind loyalty. People who claim all mainstream media is the devil are just proactively protecting themselves from fact checks. We distrust some non-FBA black media organizations. I made a video about how trash the Shade Room.
By the way, leave all the FBA people in here. Just leave them in. I want them to be in the chat by all means. Oh, this is the Shade Room he's going after. Let's go.
Who in the I don't agree with section. We both think there's an unofficial war. Who in the I don't agree with.
Gossip, media takeout. They come over here and get.
We wanted to avoid Project 2025, which is happening right now. And I told y'all about Project 2025. Nobody listened to me. We dislike the mainstream media. I mean, we both decided to build our own audiences and correct what we see as falsehoods. So it seems like we're on the same page on this one. Disliking all of the mainstream media is necessary when you're attempting to inspire blind loyalty. People who claim all mainstream media is the devil are just proactively protecting themselves from fact checks. We distrust.
Pretty much. Let me let me just speak on that for a second. Donald Trump was, and you probably heard, he had this thing at the White House with a bunch of athletes. The only one I knew was Lawrence Taylor, pretty much. I mean, and that you've seen that viral clip. You've probably seen the viral clip. Lawrence Taylor don't even know what the hell he was doing there, but whatever. I know why he was there, and I know why he's clinging to Trump. I do. I have an idea why he's clinging to Trump, and if you want to know why he's clinging to Trump, ask yourself, why are some of your favorite rappers clinging to Trump? And that's all you need to know. But yeah, Donald Trump at that press conference, somebody from ABC asked him about Epstein. And he immediately trashed him. Oh, you're ABC, and of course you're the fake news, and you're, this is why your ratings are low and you suck and blah blah blah. But you know that he ran on all the conspiracy nonsense, and if his name wasn't on the Epstein stuff or somebody else that he may know, like a close relative, you take your pick, was on that Epstein shit, he would definitely. Now he would start off a meeting. He would start off press conferences about Epstein. We got to open the file. We got to open the files. But since clearly he's either on it or somebody that can really incriminate him is on it, he doesn't want to talk about it. So yes, this is why they don't want to. They talk about the mainstream media. No, they don't like when the media asks them questions and hit them and try to pull stuff out of them as he's talking about. But let's go.
Some non-FBA black media organizations. I made a video about how trash the Shade Room is last year. So when Tariq lists off all the publications owned by black immigrants that denigrate us constantly, he's right.
World Star, Shade Room, Gossip, media takeout. They come over here and get a bag denigrating us, cherry picking the absolute worst images.
He's using it as justification.
Yeah, I understand, but don't white publications do that as well? What are you talking about? We're just right now we're talking about a whole white commercial from a white company with a white girl that is throwing shade at us, all right, on some master race shit. So what you're saying, I mean, yeah, those guys are fucked up, but wait a minute, sir. What about the white publications? Let's continue.
To denigrate all of them in return, meaning all Caribbean people and all African people, which is immature and short-sighted, but the allegation is true. Tariq doesn't do nuance very well, as we'll get into in the I don't agree with section. We both think there's an unofficial war on black Americans.
These people have waged an unofficial war on us, and that's one thing that we have to do. We have to start calling what they have done to us and what they are doing to us an act of war.
I think given historic.
Okay, I understand that. An act of when I don't listen to Tariq. I listen to other people who listen to Tariq. I don't listen to him for shit. But who's these people? You're pointing the finger at black immigrants. Whatever happened to white supremacy? I think the key word in white supremacy is white. You know what I'm saying? Meaning white folks who are supposedly over you and oppressing you. I mean, I'm confused here.
Evidence and modern day evidence, it's really tough to argue that this hasn't been the case since slavery ended. Where we differ is that Tariq is using that fact to further justify his incredibly divisive actions and statements towards everyone who isn't FBA. What else do I have in common with Tariq? Anger. I've been angry at this country's power structure my whole life. Oh, we got a non-foundational black YouTube American as well. So
let me show you something. A couple of people after this video came out, some of Tariq's little lieutenants were saying that the tethers are mad, including O'Shea Duke. Like, there's so many people on YouTube that get me sick. Saying that the tethers were coming after Tariq. Bro, this is the only quote unquote tether that is used in the group. This guy is I guess he's a Caribbean man or something. He's from another country, whatever. But they say that the tether is what got mad at Tariq. No, this is the only guy who's from a foreign land, and he's actually an ally.
I wanted to get a feel for how FBA, how their ideology has impacted you, how it's intersected with you, but also how you've interacted with Black Americans throughout your life.
Yeah, so first I want to give some empathy. I want to start out with that. Essentially, there's a unique experience that the Black American growing up next to their colonizers have. It is a maddening experience. To be Black is to be mad in the States in particular. The second part is I also empathize with the pain of having to create the gumbo of what you have, because that's all you have. So being that the FBA or the ADOS has only existed, and his only lineage has existed in the States this whole time, that's all he got. So he, his claim to his African ancestry, and looking back to see if he's Igbo, if he's Yoruba, like if he's all these different things, that's a little bit too far for him.
Yo, so today, my baby.
Wait a minute, hold on, stop. I want to stop for a second. So he can't go back to his African roots, but that's too far for him. What? Then can someone explain me what the hell Hidden Colors was? No, but I want you. You heard what the guy said. He said he feels that his roots are here, so he doesn't want to go back as far back to Africa because that's too far for him. So what was the purpose of Hidden Colors exactly? What was that? Like, what was the purpose of Hidden Colors, and why did he make that if that was too far for him? Doesn't that make that whole quote unquote documentary illegit? But he's gonna get into that soon. Let's go. Oh, let me slow this down. If this is going too fast, I'll just push it down and just slow it down a bit. Let's go.
Brother sent me my Ancestry results. He had to fall on the grenade for the rest of us. RIP his data. I just found out that I'm 32% Nigerian and 14% from Mali. I don't know what you call somebody from Mali. Being American and descended from slaves, and knowing that you came from West Africa, but never really being sure which parts or at what time, anything like that, it's a surreal feeling when you find out, right? Because on the one hand,
I'm going to do something here. I've just got to set this up a little bit differently, so bear with me. Maybe I think I kind of know what last call might have been talking about. Hold on. Yep. Let me do it like this so that okay. All right, y'all. Let's continue.
Pissed off because there's no way for me to have a connection to that continent. I've never been to Africa. On the other side, you're happy because you're grounded in something for the first time in your life, something besides this country that stole your people and forced a religion on you and forced the flag on you and forced you to pledge allegiance to that flag from childhood on, which is weird. We're gonna get into the allegiance to the flag FBA does a little later. Everybody.
Yes, that's another thing. He covers a lot. The flag thing, I'm glad he got on that, because that is just, I'm gonna tell you, that is completely weird, but I'm glad he got on that. Let's continue.
Who doesn't spend time on the conspiracy side of YouTube? Let's cover the basics of the ideology. FBAs, stick with me. I know y'all know most of this, but I can guarantee you that there's some of it you don't. To be clear, we're officially done with things I agree with section. I dislike everything covered in the rest of this.
Hold on. All right, let's continue.
Some proof for a couple of things I said earlier. Here's the official FBA website. I told y'all he built this, and at the bottom it says Foundational Black Americans. Let's throw that joint in the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office site, and boom.
And we've gone over this, and I'm glad he's going over it as other people. You know what I noticed? It's just like with the Umar situation, as unless you've been under a rock, you've seen Umar's been getting opened up by the entire internet, and you see people bringing up, oh, that school. There's no way that school was feasible. I mean, it would cost about $2 million to get it up, and it would cost this much. You got to get, staff and all of this. And I'm like, okay, this was like 6 years ago that we told y'all this, and people are kind of catching up. And I'm not attacking this dude for seeing this now. I'm just saying this is all stuff that we were telling you guys, and now when people are now coming in, and they're looking at it themselves, I'm glad a bigger platform like this is now pointing out what we've been saying forever.
Just in case you needed more proof, the earliest recorded mention of the site's URL happened on October 7th of 2020 when he was trying to sell y'all FBA mini flags. The earliest mention of the term is hard to pinpoint, but he was using it on another one of his sites in 2019. Here's proof of him creating the term in the first place, claiming he adapted it from Dr. Claude Anderson's.
Claude Anderson's a problem, folks. He's a problem. All right. And I'm just going to say again, as I've said before, people don't want to say that Claude Anderson is part of this. If Claude Anderson is staying silent, because he's still around, unless this dude has, is extremely sick or has dementia or whatever. He sees what's going on. And if you're not going to speak up, or his son who works with them, they're not going to speak up on this, that means they're part of it. So no, Claude Anderson doesn't get off from this at all.
Native Black Americans term. The FBA movement started as Tangibles 2020 in the lead up to the 2020 election.
Man, we don't need to be on no ADOS, man. We need to be Pan-African. That's what Pan-Africanism is. Us fight for everybody else to come over here and get some of the resources that we've helped accumulate for them, and then they turn around and say, okay, thank you, Wakata, and I'm about to go work with.
But hold on, dude. That's what you were pushing just a couple of years before this grift.
These white people.
Back then, Tariq was in lockstep with.
Okay, it may have been coined Nigerian students. All right, Akata. Unreal. He's going to get into this.
The ADOS movement, led by Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. ADOS has their own problems. Rapper Talib Kweli penned a Medium article in 2019 called Why ADOS is Trash that included two segments that help prove this point. The first is from when ADOS followers misidentified his heritage after he criticized their co-founder, Yvette Carnell, saying he's Haitian and telling him to go back. Talib Kweli is from Brooklyn, and his parents aren't immigrants. Stay tuned for them doing that to me 2 weeks ago. The second is about how ADOS, and now FBA, love targeting liberals and progressives like Ta-Nehisi Coates, Kamala, Cory Booker, Bernie Sanders, and every other critic of Trump because Dems have taken the black vote for granted. That's absolutely true. But Kweli says that when you target Dems like that, you're letting the GOP slide. I agree 100%. Yvette got this rolling when she attacked Talib out of nowhere in 2019. His tweet was pro-reparations and anti-Trump, saying he prefers a plan for reparations over withholding our votes and letting Trump win.
Do you see this? I support an idea for reparations. I'm more in support of a plan for reparations than I am in shouting reparations now into the void and holding my vote hostage and letting Trump win again because the candidate who can beat him doesn't see that vision. Let's continue.
Again, she slammed him for being a loud and wrong celebrity. How? He agrees with you. Oh, wait.
Now, again, and I'm anti-celebrity, but it's not like he did anything wrong. But let's continue.
Right. Now, you know that video was deleted.
I think it's even more beloved than Tariq Nasheed. I remember people actually being more mad at me that I had a vet in the thumbnail than Tariq Nasheed.
Hold on
the thing
a second.
Hear
what Talib said.
And anti-Trump, saying he prefers a plan for reparations over withholding our votes and letting Trump win again. She slammed him for being a loud and wrong celebrity. How? He agrees with you. Oh, wait.
Right. Now, you know that video was deleted.
I think it's even more...
That was deleted. She deleted that. Will you see her in that Trump hat? That video was deleted.
Beloved than Tariq Nasheed. I remember people actually being more mad at me that I had a vet in the thumbnail than Tariq Nasheed. But the thing is, the data is already shown. There's already research has shown that she is compromised. She does specifically back the MAGA set, not even like conservative, not even conservative with a small c that we know we people that are dark and blue do have. I'm from the Caribbean. I ain't gonna gaslight you into thinking that like I did not grow up in a conservative Caribbean household. I'm not gonna act like I didn't. But no, Yvette and Tariq and them was specifically trying to align themselves with the MAGA sect brand. And a lot of it also, if you do like the research and you follow the money, Nazi-backed MAGA sapien type branding. So like, who is this in service of?
Very serious accusation, Doctor.
I appreciate that, Foreign. I was going to talk about this anyway. So Yvette served on the...
Yeah, this is another thing. Yvette was on this anti-immigrant far right board. All right, this has all been out there for a while. She served on the board
for a group called Progressives for Immigration Reform, which was a fake progressive front organization linked to essentially a Nazi, a white nativist, white supremacist, and eugenics supporter named John Tanton. His goal was to limit black and brown immigration. This organization she served on built websites that accused immigrants of being responsible for things like traffic, overconsumption, and other environmental problems.
Look at this. Constructive websites, urban sprawl, traffic congestion, unreal. Overconsumption, and hosts of other environmental evils. Listen to the rhetoric that ADOS and FBA pushes out there, man. And that immigration is the most important issue for conservatives. Come on, bro. Well, who's gonna sweep the floors in all your buildings? You see nothing but immigrants. The place I work at, these guys can't even, none of them can speak English. But you want to get rid of all of them, right? All of those people you see at Home Depot, they're all legal immigrants.
They've also increased friction between ADOS/FBA and black immigrants, as we're going to show a lot more of in the video. The ultimate goal here is to delay a black or brown majority population in the country for more years. Also, big shout out to Ole for throwing me the alley-oop with this research.
Yeah, that's the woman right there. Or Laura Renati. Again, you know, she's got pretty good content. Like we agree with, if I agree with more then I disagree with. As far as what they put out, so let's continue.
We all love you. Thank you so much. Suffice to say, FBA copied most of Ado's playbook, but made it worse somehow. I got to show y'all the site for Tangibles 2020 real quick because it supports my prior argument about Tariq selling anything at every chance he gets. First, we hit the
So one of this. Let me just make a quick. Let me just say this. This is one of Tariq's. Slow this down. You want me to slow it down? All right. I mean, I'm doing it. Hold on. Let me slow it down. I'm gonna slow it down, but I'm doing it because obviously I don't want to get flagged. But let me slow it down. I'm gonna slow it down to 150. All right. I'm gonna slow it down. Secondly, this is one of Tariq's little fanboys here. All right. A guy who found out in his 50s that he's finally FBA and he wants, Tariq of all people, showed him the way. Remember, this guy right here, this dude. Let me just go back for a second. This dude, this guy right here. Where is it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Let me go back to that. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. Yeah, this dude right here. This guy showed him who he was. This guy, this character. All right. So bless the best. Go to his platform. Go to his platform and let him as he worships Tariq Nasheed. And yeah, I heard that video with that fake Jamaican woman. I should play that too. I should go ahead and play that video because that video was a disgrace. That was pretty disgusting. But let's continue. Let's continue.
about Morgan Freeman's harassment.
Hold on.
Worse somehow. I got to show y'all the site for Tangibles 2020 real quick because it supports my prior argument about Tariq selling anything at every chance he gets. First, we hit the homepage and find yet another weird company launched by Tariq called #FirstThem. Their argument is that there's corporate-sponsored movements rising up in the entertainment industry around sexual misconduct, and that these movements are unfairly targeting Black entertainers. The site goes on to say that there's allegedly hundreds of accused sexual predators from the dominant society, aka white people, and that they're being skipped over. Okay, so #FirstThem is really them first. Considering this main part of the site was built out in April of 2019, and the Me Too movement popped off over the 2 years prior, that's definitely what he was referring to. Let's see how many high-profile Black people were implicated by that movement. 3, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, and Morgan Freeman. 3 out of 9 or so high-profile celebrities, with the rest being white or Jewish. Most of y'all watching this are just...
Let me just say this, and hold on. ERA Pacquiao, how it intersected, slowly happening over on the really quick. It's about the bitch's pants. Hold on, let me see. Let us see here. Anyway, yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Tariq. I just want to say because he mentioned Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. Like I said, I'm anti-celebrity. As soon as it was when Bill Cosby was going down, because Bill Cosby did the shit. Number one. Number two, I remember the pound cake speech and his respectability politics and all the other bullshit. And now he's in trouble. Now he wants to become the runaway slave. We're not doing that. But this dude right here, it was when Cosby got in trouble. And when this dude did a flip and said, "Oh, I read the deposition." Nah. Cosby didn't do this. And Cosby, I knew that this dude was nothing but a celebrity, a celebritard, just dying for fame type of nigga. That's who Tariq is, right? You notice he sticks up for every celebrity. You're gonna see this as this video goes through. But let's continue, Cam.
Now hearing about Morgan Freeman's harassment accusations right now. By the way, he accepted responsibility for it. So it's probably just
and Morgan Freeman, that he's talking about when Morgan Freeman, when they tried to come at him with, oh, he got frisky with a woman. He just got turned on. He saw a woman cross her legs, and he's a man. He just got turned on. That was nothing, because you don't hear anything about Morgan Freeman, although you did you did hear a weird story about him with that someone tried to push, but Morgan didn't do nothing. Cosby and Kels, that's a little different. but Tariq runs behind him, just like he ran behind what's his name, Young Thug, just like he ran by any celebrity this guy sticks up for. And the reason he sticks up for these celebrities is simple. Celebrities pay goo gobs of cash if you run interference for him. That's why he's trying. When you see guys like Umar and guys like Tariq, and when these guys, they're constantly sticking up for celebrities, it's because they're trying to get a bag from these celebrities. Do not think for a second that Diddy doesn't see some of the mouthpieces out there that are sticking up for him. Part of it, this is because of the algorithm. They want to catch the algorithm. This is why you see this silly free Diddy movement. But secondly, if Tariq Nasheed got a job as a guy who's a mouthpiece for these, and he's going to be a bad one because he gives these bad defenses. This guy, he's going to just fuck your shit up even more. But that's why he's doing what he's doing. Let's continue.
Other two that he's caping for. Most of y'all have been watching me long enough to know that I wasn't guessing. Here, he says he's not trying to minimize the actions of R. Kelly after John Legend says Kelly deserves the Weinstein treatment. In the next tweet, he agrees unequivocally that they're on the same page. Kelly deserves to be punished on the same level as Weinstein. 10 days later, he tweets about an unsubstantiated...
No, you know why he did that? Because John Legend's a celebrity. That's, again, he wants to be in with these celebrities. If Tariq Nasheed and one of his shitty albums ever hits the charts, he's going to throw this whole shit out the window. Trust me on that. Trust me on that.
Case where a sex offender pretended to be a woman to lure a victim, then quotes himself and implies that R. Kelly ain't that bad in comparison. How are 9 counts of sex crimes and human trafficking not worse than that? I guess I shouldn't expect much from somebody who wrote a Mackin handbook for incels. We'll get to that, I promise.
Yeah,
this is the most important part. How we help. Simple. You got to donate and buy some merch. There are no more specifics about where the money goes. They claim there's volunteer opportunities and fundraising initiatives, but we couldn't find anything to back that up. If y'all need proof that this is Tariq's site, clicking one of these sweaters takes me to a page with Tariq Elite in the URL. It's his personal Shopify account.
Guys, you notice how there's a Shopify and he monetizes this shit? I've told people before, Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, they are no different. If you go to the FDMG website, right, you see that cheap ass video, that fake ass video of him going inside that bomb shelter in Delaware, and all you have are PayPal links. Go to that site. I haven't been there in a while, but if you go to the site now, you have the video, PayPal links, PayPal link. Tariq is just more polished in the grifting and the scamming. People don't seem to get that. Tariq always gets you. He always gives you whenever you give him something, he delivers. You didn't get a museum. That shit that he put together, you could put that shit together in your basement. What are you talking about? What are we saying out here? So yeah, man, this let me turn this off because again, I don't want to get but yeah, what you see here, the monetization, is the same thing. They do the same thing. He's just smoother with his. Let's continue. Look at this. Mission pass. Enrich yourself to 99. Okay. Hold on.
As I take you back to the hashtag Tangibles 2020 tab, because this is not going to feel like the same site.
You
These
see
are the
this?
same talking points.
See that? Donate. Same shit.
We've heard within the Black community since before I was born. We've been neglected by Democrats. They lump us in with other minorities who benefit from it more than we do. And we're not voting unless we get tangibles. Jive, turkey. I promise I'm taking this seriously. As usual, the only way to get involved is to hit his PayPal. Brief time out. To organize the rest of this video, we're going to roll out the first 6 of the 10 stages of genocide. Yeah, I put grift in the title because he doesn't want to get anyone killed. He just happens to be agitating an intraracial war so he can profit from the FBA side while using the same blueprint as some of history's worst dictators. Like, if Hitler was way less persuasive and only concerned with getting enough money to hire models for a music video. Very long story short, he soon fractured off from hashtag Tangibles 2020 and formed FBA, using a lot of the core ADOS principles, reparations, delineation from Black immigrants being the main two. In my opinion, he did this because he realized he'd be better off creating and leading his own movement to sell more terrible films and merch to. Another fractured group called Secure the Tribe later broke off FBA because of course they did.
Now, Secure the Tribe, they're a bunch of people who think they're Indian. Or they're a group They broke away. This is why this is why black folk ain't never gonna get reparations in this country, because you don't even know who you are. Called Secure the Tribe. They're this group who thinks they're Indian and they have roots in India, blah blah blah. If you check in my community post, by the way, notice how Sierra, she's now gone back to her African roots. Sierra, she actually has some Indian in her, all right? But she took it back to Africa. She's not going to Turtle Island. She's not going to freaking she's not going to Australia or the Netherlands or nothing. Going straight back to Africa. All right. So Secure the Tribe, he tried to hook up with them. He tried to infiltrate them. They threw him out. So he started attacking them and roasting them. And it's just the same. This guy, Tahaka Bay said it best. This guy is the tether's tether. He tethers everything. And he tried to get into that. Let's continue.
We've already covered the definition of FBA, but now we get the backstory behind why they're separating themselves from other people descended from slaves in the Caribbean. The site claims that almost a century before slaves touched down in America, a Spanish colonizer named Lucas Vasquez de Ayllón brought the first documented enslaved people to what's now the coast of South Carolina and Georgia. This is widely confirmed by the historian community. There were about 100 of them, and a revolt followed weeks after they touched down. There were likely both free and enslaved black people in America before 1619. This article by Dwayne Johnson of the Valdosta Daily Times summed it up best. Apparently, Christopher Columbus wrote some of the potential evidence in his own journal. Columbus said that Native Americans confirmed black people came from the southeast in boats, trading in spears. These spears had the same ratios of precious metals as the spears being made in Guinea, which is in Africa. This is a secondary source, though. We need to see and translate that journal, but FBA's, I'm going to give that Harvard historian the benefit of the doubt. The evidence people like Tariq point to most often is the giant Olmec head statues from Central and South America.
God.
Some of the Aboriginal people here look just like us. You go down and
That's the best. If you're here, this is your daddy right here. Listen to what your daddy says.
see the Olmec statues. You go to California, the Ohlone Indians, the Mojave Indians. I'm talking about jet black people, all on this eastern seaboard, jet black people.
He brings it up all the time because it's hard to beat visual.
Yes, East Indians are jet black. All right. You can find some Asians that are jet black. Doesn't mean that we are related in any way, but let's continue.
Evidence. They're like 11 feet tall and weigh over 30 tons. The explorer who found them, Jose Melgar, said they
By
look.
the way, they're jet black, but Africans, notice he's saying that they're not our people. He's going to get into that too, which is just a mess. Let's continue.
Ethiopic, and concluded there had undoubtedly been blacks in this country. Those obviously look like African features, but evidence like this is always debatable.
Yeah, like I was speaking about this the other day on another platform. K Solo, the rapper, right? Look at K Solo, the rapper, and look at his note. But look at this shit, man. Come on, guys. There are tons of people who aren't black that have some of these features, man. Come on.
Why couldn't Olmec statues be depicting Olmec rulers? Wouldn't that make sense? Isn't that what most other ancient statues are built for? Africans aren't the only people who look like that. As you can see, the truth is, this is all circumstantial and subjective evidence. We can't know for sure, as much as it feels good for us to believe it. I relate to how validating it is to know that some of our ancestors came here of their own free will. But a mark of maturity in these important discussions is being comfortable with saying the phrase, I don't know. Scientists say it all the time. He never says it's debatable, never says maybe. He not only stated theories as facts, he insulted Native Americans while doing it.
Even though some of our people were from Africa, we were mixed in with the Aboriginal people here. We have to understand that we were here. Many of our ancestors were here before Columbus. We're taught that the Native American people are these Indian-looking people with long hair that looks like weaves.
This is the guy whose ideology you want to follow. The guy with 25 sales links in every video description. I counted. His Cash App is in there 3 times. Gets way worse than that. Let's keep going. I already told y'all at least one parent needs to come from a non-immigrant background in America to qualify as FBA.
Look, that's not true. I mean, he says this shit, but it's not true. All right. I mean, I guess he did it. See, here's the thing, FBA clowns. Here's what you gotta understand, right? You're already the minority here, stupid. So, and I hear some FBA people saying, "Oh, there's 40 million FBAs." No, dumbass. If you keep delineating, how is it still 40 million? You've heard the term 40 million back, you know, when Malcolm was speaking, or Khaled, or even. They always use that term 40 million, but if you're delineating, how the fuck do you still have 40 million people? That's now been cut down, but they realize, gee, we can't eliminate everybody. All right, so we got to make some sort of compromise. This is why you have weirdos like freaking what's his name, Lord Jamar. You know, there's this other woman. She's called Messy Megan or Mouthy Megan. I had a back and forth with her. This woman, she is actually, and I did a video on her too. The woman claims to be FBA, and ADOS, but she's Puerto Rican. All right, just like that Puerto Rican chick that I just showed you before with Tariq. So they realize that they got to expand it more. The Israelites do the same thing, by the way. During the pandemic, I noticed some of the Israelites, after all these years of bashing Africa and African booty, there's a whole Jamaican out in Africa right now. He used to be an Israelite. He started a whole cult with Africans. Let me stop for a second. Let me just show you this dude, because I found this funny and it's obvious. It's it's pretty obvious that this dude has started a cult out there. This Jamaican dude, he used to go by the chart. And let's see, where is it at? Hold on. Let's see. And I found it funny as hell, man. You know what? I'll show it to you later. But the bottom line is that when you're a high school driver, you tend to latch on to speaking points. Oh, I still got Bless the Best up there. Tariq's little fanboy there. Lord have mercy. And you needed a failed pimp, failed rapper, failed Pan-Africanist, high school dropout, failed singer as well. Yeah, failed everything to tell you who you are. Yo, yeah, it's pretty bad out here, bro. Let's continue. I'll find that other guy later. Let's finish with homies. Let's go.
He goes on to say on the site that you aren't considered FBA if your mother and father descend from slavery in the Caribbean.
The Black American has grievances.
Yeah.
The only problem now is how those grievances are then, of course, afflicted onto the wrong, the wrong victims.
100%.
And leave all the Ramal. You can stay here. You can stay here and listen while we cook. You got all FBA. Let them stay here while we sit there and cook. Let's continue.
And folks like myself, that have an accent or that, have a Bahamian flag or Jamaican flag inside their bio or Nigerian flag inside their bio, that iconography and whatnot means something. And because it's so hard to punch vertically, I'm a fighter. So like I said, it's hard. You ain't got enough reach. Your arms are short, and white supremacy is tall.
Yeah.
You get me? The white institution is a very puissant, towering figure. You get me? So like you trying to punch up, you can't reach.
Yeah.
Okay, well I can punch sideways then. I can punch horizontally. And what's next to you horizontally?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for your Imagine, you know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, you got this dude right here, but dude, your name is Ankh. Like, gosh. You know what I'm saying? Like these dudes are weirdos, man. I can't with these cats, man. Like it's just these dudes are crazy, man. Let's continue.
Black Caribbean people, Africans, like even you get out of them, Latinos, you see what's going on in LA. So that's and that goes across genders and whatnot too. Like the Black man feels invalidated by his experience being in the States, being masculinized by the white American. And what does he do to take out his frustration with capitalism, with all these other things? He doesn't try to fight that system.
Right.
He fights the Black woman.
Yeah.
He fights his partner. That's the problem. Right anger, justified anger. Nobody will ever contend with that. Wrong punching bag.
Okay. To everybody who listens to Tariq or never took African American history in school or had this part conveniently removed from their textbooks, the transatlantic slave trade brought African people from their continent to the Americas and Brazil. Some went directly to the Caribbean, some directly to the colonies, but all were subject to being resold at any time. One of the countries that never gets brought up for buying enslaved people, Canada. Just as an example, Portugal was the most active transporter. That plantation in Brazil was theirs. They were brought to the Caribbean plantations and American plantations and shipped to Brazil and Nova Scotia and anywhere else there was an established trade relationship and demand for cheap labor. Tariq's rules for FBA lineage heavily rely on a separation between those descended from Caribbean slavery and those descended from American freedmen. This rule blatantly and intentionally ignores that people cross between these plantations all the time. Enslaved people were sold off to the Caribbean after working in America because Haiti had high demand, and they were sent there as punishment too, since conditions were reportedly more brutal on those plantations. This is the best part. Lincoln even tried to send these freedmen Tariq wants to focus on to Haiti to get them the hell out of his face. Lincoln did not want a bunch of free Negroes wandering around the U.S. The attempt failed, but a basic review of history would have told you that plenty of people with the exact same ancestry as you ended up on those islands out of sheer chance after putting in work in the States. If your claim for hoarding all the imaginary reparations checks depends on FBA's building the foundation of this country, Shouldn't anybody who did that work be included? You'd think so if this was based on logic, but it's not. Even if there were zero significant intersection between slavery in the Caribbean and the founding years of the chattel slavery system in the US, which is categorically impossible, this clown goes on to claim it's easy for all FBAs to find and produce their paperwork in order to qualify as part of the lineage.
So there's some kind of
Now notice, I'm glad now, just a couple of things on that. It's not just FBA that doesn't talk about the triangular trade. The ADOS never speaks about it. They never bring it up. All right, those two are the guys with the big brains. Yvette Cornell and Tone Talks. They never talk about that. They never bring that up. Neither does Mr. B1 himself, Jeremy down in Louisiana. None of them bring it up. None of them talk about the triangular slave or the transatlantic slave trade. They don't bring it up. They don't bring it up. So it's not just them. And as far as producing paperwork, none of them have produced and have had a paperwork party. You know how lit it would be if these FBA or Black Americans, if they had a paperwork party? They don't. Not one. Tariq hasn't. Forget the Black Authority. He's not going to show his face. The man, it's been damn near 20 years. He still hasn't shown his face. So forget him. Tariq hasn't. Phil Scott hasn't. Doodoo Dillard hasn't. Huh? Neither has any of his lieutenants. None of them have ever had a paperwork party. So please, out this bit, so this isn't new. This isn't new at all. And so let's continue with this. I guess Sambos or who the FBAs are super Sambos. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Let's continue.
deliberate play going on here. So that's very dangerous. Well, it was dangerous because now we're doing paperwork checks now.
He cites the 1900 census too.
Wait, when has Tariq, any FBA people in the building, when has Tariq ever shown his paperwork? He understands. All he has to do is tell you, yeah, my family's from the down south, and yeah, so I'm FBA. He doesn't have to show you jack shit. And we are his name. He already, as Cam has already shown you, we know his real name. Everyone knows his name is Marcus. Toharka has him in court right now. Everyone knows his name is Marcus. So the cat's out of the bag, long out of the bag. So let's continue.
Provided more information, as if some of us weren't displaced or our paperwork lost to time, as if a census conducted in 1870 could ever account for the full extent of the atrocities committed during slavery, as if our ancestors hadn't scattered all over the planet by then, and as if the federal government could ever be trusted to create and operate the entire department it would require to process and verify all these people. How are they going to stop Rachel Dolezal? Ernie's good, but how are they going to stop Kenny Smith? Why would you want the feds to have the power to further classify and exclude huge sections of the black population in the first place? The fuck are you talking about? Did you think this through for longer than it takes you to create one of your terrible ass AI thumbnail having ass YouTube videos? Oh, by the way, this is stage 2, symbolization.
Hold on. All right, let's go.
Scroll down this page. Let's clock all the demeaning and exaggerated ways he's depicted.
Folks, pay attention to this. All right? Pay attention. FBA is not this again. FBA is nothing but a Sambo movement. All right? You're following this dude and look at the demeaning photos. I mean, let's keep it a stat. You've never seen photos like this with white MAGA pages. You don't. And if they were, they'd be called out. They'd probably be taken down. Look at the pages and the thumbnails that this guy uses, my man. Look at this.
Immigrants, as compared to how he depicts FBAs. Indian working at a gas station, bug-eyed Africans, dirty Africans, crazy Jamaicans, etc.
Marcus Vincent Thomas.
Notice the AI version of himself is pristine. This is what Trump would do more often if he knew how computers worked. It gets worse as it goes.
Yeah, that's a funny one. Trump would do this often if he knew how computers work. He's right. This is worse than this. When was the last time even Nick Fuentes doesn't use thumbnails like this?
He provides rules about the status of half FBAs, saying they can't be taken seriously if their non-FBA parent moved here after 1970.
Mind you, his sister married a whole Puerto Rican, like white Puerto Rican. He married a mixed woman. He's got a white mother-in-law who married a Haitian. Like, damn.
Unless they have a verified track record of loyalty and tangible contributions. Y'all might be asking, but Tariq, why would the year matter if their other parent is full FBA? This is when you get hit with the most unserious, unscientific claim on this whole site. The African and Caribbean immigrants before that time frame had a different collective disposition in relation to FBA.
Oh my God.
Translation, their vibes were off. He goes on to explain that people like Marcus Garvey, who was Jamaican, and Malcolm X, whose mother was from Grenada, are seen as icons to FBAs. After 1970, the FBI's COINTELPRO program sowed division among Black organizations. True. And the US government allocated tangible resources to immigrant groups instead of us. Unsubstantiated.
Heard that over and over. I heard that in the chat today. I've heard that from a bunch of people. Oh, they just, you know, they were looking out for immigrants for as opposed to and getting rid of Black Americans. You haven't substantiated that as yet.
Claims this incentivized non-FBAs to collaborate with white supremacists
Oh,
to sabotage FBA progress. Conspiracy theory. By the way,
yes,
21% of our Black population in the US has at least one immigrant parent. Some of y'all seriously want to see FBA or ADOS on the ballot, which would be like cutting off one of our legs. So white supremacist wet dream. I assume over 99% of Black immigrants watching this video were born after 1970. So please tell me if Tariq is right about your disposition towards all of us in the comments. I'm sure he's right about some immigrants. I'm not denying that an individual immigrant can have a negative disposition towards us. The generalizations are a frequent weapon of his though, and I'm sick of it. It's always an invalid argument to reduce a vibrant, multifaceted community down to one person that hurt your feelings on the internet. You don't see me calling everybody on earth named Marcus a divisive narcissist. That's just you, bro. Congratulations.
See, and that's the thing. When you hear these people go after Africa, or they see one African online and they do a broad brush of an entire, guys, think of it, an entire continent. A continent. So one African person, right? And they love to say how Africans are tribal. Okay, 54 countries in Africa. How many cities and so on? How many personalities are we dealing with here? So all of them are tribal and all of them are savages, according to him. So one person, like, and this is what he uses online. One person from Africa says something slick and you just broad brush the entire continent.
If you're still watching this, your certificate for FBA 101 is in the mail. Now is okay up time. Who's y'all to Tariq's favorite slur?
The tethering, the cultural parasite.
Now let's get into the tethering. Tether, by the way, is just another word for the N word with the hard ER. Let's continue.
Sitism and tethering needs to be checked.
Sometimes he pairs it with anchored for extra spice. He has slurs on the site, like the tether and the anchored tether is on the site. Like
anchor babies. Guys, that's a racist term. Anchor babies. Think about that. And he just puts it together. Anchored tether.
The anchored tether?
Anchored tether.
And so that's what's interesting. It reminds me of incels.
Yeah.
I have a lot of background with like the alt-right research and the alt-right and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these alternative intellectual spaces that lean into toxic habits of, harassment, conspiratorial thinking, antisocial community building, they all are built with the same general like structures and attract the same type of people, disaffected young men with marginal social, economic, and romantic opportunities, looking for community, looking for things to like subsume their identity into. And the development of jargon and coded language and things like that is actually really, really important and valuable to those spaces because it marks who's in and who's out.
And anchor baby is a slur used for the child of an immigrant who came to America and gave birth after, making their child.
Yeah, that's me, by the way. That's me because I was born here. You see, what's so crazy is that let's go back to anchor. Just
assume their identity into.
Let's go ahead and see that anchor baby.
Which and things like that.
Let's hurry up
to those spaces because it marks who's in and who's out.
And anchor baby is
anchor baby. What's so crazy about that term, right? Whites celebrate America, and one of the reasons they celebrate it so much is because of the immigrants that have come here that made this country great. They all tell their stories about immigrants, whether like white immigrants, like the guy who bought the Clippers, all right? His parents came here from Germany. And he was born here. That's an anchor baby. And he went and he just gentrified. Not only did he enrich another racist in Donald Sterling, like overpaid for a bad team, but he gentrified the neighborhood where he built the stadium. Nobody goes after him. But you got this group setting up this cult to cause division and calls you an anchor baby. He's going to talk about this allegiance in a second.
The slur used for the child of an immigrant who came to America and gave birth after, making their child a citizen.
I was born in the States, so technically I do have both passports. Trump hates me. And I lived most of my life in the Bahamas. So like I was just born in the States and then I came right back to the Bahamas. So I'm an anchor baby essentially.
My girlfriend is too.
Hey, you know, solidarity, you know, but like once I got back to the States for tertiary education, there is a
By the way, that's so is anti-Afro Spengali. She was she had the same story. For those who are in the sector, yeah, that's her story. And she goes after us for she calls me anti-ADOS, but let's continue.
See that a lot of people that have not had to live shoulder to shoulder with their colonizers, like Americans do, like Black Americans do, like indigenous, like a lot of folks that have been maligned by their colonizers, and they look like that. A lot of them, a lot of us immigrants that, because I do consider myself an immigrant spirit, when we come to the States, we don't have that baggage. So we're able to perform in ways in which our Black counterparts can't, that have been there from time.
Tether takes anchor one step further, since technically those slurs used to mean the same thing. FBAs use tether to describe African or Caribbean immigrants who moved to the US to benefit off of our civil rights struggle, while simultaneously disparaging us. They claim it's an action-based thing and not prejudiced, and that they don't have beef with all immigrants. You're lying, and I'm gonna prove it. Tether conjures up images of Jordan Peele's movie Us, where it referred to a mirrored copy of each main character that lived underground, didn't speak clearly, were badly groomed and violent. Basically, him and his followers adopted right-wing white supremacist tactics and throw these slurs at people pretty viciously.
You understand? And you wonder why we delineate? And people talking about we're divisive? We should have divided from these damn dusty-ass, hateful tethers a long time ago.
That time, he was referring to Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland and the only Black governor in the country. His beef with West started when the governor vetoed a study into reparations in favor of continued action that delivers results for the people we serve. There's been studies commissioned in several states. California is the most liberal state we have. And you know what happened when they studied reparations? They calculated that an older Black American would be owed about $1.2 million. Did the math to all the older Black people in California and went, nah. West committed to introducing legislation next year to address, quote, racial disparities in areas such as wealth, homeownership, education, and food security, end quote. Politicians lie all the time, so we'll see if he follows through. But the headline here is that he's not this non-FBA tether holding us back from a check that was never coming.
You know, Wes Moore, he's his family's.
Notice how this Black American and Cam James is letting you know what everyone's been telling you, and which I believe, which you're never going to get a reparations check. All right, that's not coming. But let's continue.
Jamaican.
Hold up, Wes Moore's father is fully descended from American slavery and likely died
Look at
due
this.
to medical discrimination.
Look at this. This is Wes Moore's story. Father may have been killed by racism. An educated middle-class Black man whose medical complaint was dismissed by doctors only for him to die in front of his 3-year-old son the next day. I can tell you countless instances of this. So his father's American.
So they don't have the same generational trauma, the direct connection to the reparations claim, the ancestral ties here.
And his grandfather fled the country after his great-grandfather was targeted for
in South Carolina and fled the country after his great-grandfather spoke out about racial injustice and was targeted for lynching. This is a writer, according to FBA people, and this is and this clown disparages him.
lynching. His mother is half Cuban and half Jamaican.
So they can easily dismiss or deprioritize our policies without any type of internal conflict.
Wes is half FBA. Tariq lied on this man's blood to fuel his xenophobia, then said this.
There's a reason why they get these non-FBA tethers.
Slur, he's wrong about Moore's lineage, lacks the intellectual rigor to fully explore Moore's position on reparations, and uses this opportunity to add dusty and hateful to a word that's already a slur.
For years, my first like anti-fan stalker type people that were emailing me and sliding into my DMs and talking about my wife and kids and stuff online and trying to like dox me were Tariq Nasheed fans, talking about I was really Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? And I still get that. I still get Jamaican.
They don't stop.
Because anybody Black that disagrees with Tariq Nasheed got to be Jamaican and Nigerian.
I got called a tether immediately as soon as I said anything to them. And I'm like,
What is with Jamaica and Nigeria, by the way? Well, like why? What is this thing where you attack them so much? Right? Is it because they're darker? Could that be the reason? Jamaicans and Haitians and Nigerians? I don't know.
Y'all. I mean, I am from Chicago. Right. My grandparents are from Mississippi. Right? The framework of his social analysis and his movement is identical to how white supremacists have built their social movements and frameworks. It's very right wing. It's we identify an other, we develop, coded language and things like that through which to differentiate, through which to slur. This is the 10 stages of genocide. And this does seem hyperbolic because he does not have the power to commit a genocide. However, the framework through which he's organized FBA, just as I read this, you'll be like, yep. So stage 1 is classification. Differences between people are not respected. Stage 2 is symbolization.
Nikki Haley and Tim Scott have really been making this argument out there that America does not have issues with systemic racism, while also bringing up their own individual experiences with racism.
I just think you can't have this both ways. You can't try to sell me on your personal story of upliftment and the fact that you overcame the odds, and then say, but there were no odds. You can't have it both ways.
You debunk your own story.
You're debunking your own story.
It's important to Tariq for y'all to think he doesn't consider all black immigrants to be tethers. He made that clear when he got in a Twitter beef with Luther Campbell, the party rap pioneer, also known as Uncle Luke from 2 Live Crew. Basically, Mr. Doodoo Brown himself accused Tariq of being divisive and a grifter and sprinkled some "your wife is white" on top.
As a group of black men, and most of them hang out on Twitter, Tariq Nasheed.
Oh my God, I do not like him. I swear, I feel like he's an agent.
One of Tariq's response tweets said this, quote, Luke, all Caribbeans and Africans are not tethers, just the bootlicking ones who act as flunkies for political parties by trying to trick foundational black Americans into voting for nothing in return, end quote. As I
again, remember, this guy told his followers not to vote. So next time you get mad at people, all right, for Trump being in office, remember, this guy didn't turn the tide at all. He pushed people towards Trump.
Already made clear, and we'll provide more examples of. That's bullshit. No matter who you are, he'll insult your homeland. Before we get more examples, we got some more vocab to cover first. Bear with me. I hopped in the live chat of his recent video about non-FBAs co-opting Juneteenth and asked a simple question. What does one flyer have to do with an entire group's activity?
Yeah, this shit right here, where his followers, man, like this thing right here, the boycott, all right, the Essence Festival, like all of them, because they don't want black immigrants. Think about this. Black immigrants, and I said this in another video, black immigrants were celebrating Juneteenth and they were attacking them. Black immigrants were going to the Essence Festival. You were attacking them when it was a white group that set up all the marketing shit. They're the reason why Essence didn't pop off. They're going after African businesses, but they're not going after the Korean weave businesses. Makes no sense. Hold on. Oh, I went back. Sorry about that.
With black, you must be insulting black people by distancing yourself from being full black.
That's that intersectionality talk.
Hold on.
Really birthed under and or into the manosphere. It's a lot of barbershop philosophy,
100%.
A lot of mythology, a lot of conspiracy theories. And it's not even like, oh, you got to have a degree. There's little
about Marcus Garvey. We can talk about Biggie. We can talk about Malcolm X.
Is old black slang for loser or lame. I wonder anchor derogatory slurs early, but it was not so of our business and go fix your dilapidated homeland.
Yeah, fucked up.
Without knowing me at all. Then they blame.
And most of them hang out on Twitter, Tariq Nasheed.
Oh my God, I do not like him. I swear, I feel like he's an agent.
One of Tariq's response tweets said this, quote, Luke, all Caribbeans and Africans are not tethers, just the bootlicking ones who act as flunkies for political parties by trying to trick foundational black Americans into voting for nothing in return, end quote. As I've already made clear, and we'll provide more examples of, that's bullshit. No matter who you are, he'll insult your homeland. Before we get more examples, we got some more vocab to cover first. Bear with me. I hopped in the live chat of his recent video about non-FBAs co-opting Juneteenth and asked a simple question. What does one flyer have to do with an entire group's activity?
Yeah.
Why is everything us and them? You would have thought I call everybody's mama a hoe. First person yell typed erasure with 4 exclamation marks.
Yep.
Another said, I'm talking that tether talk. Next person straight up called me a non-FBA without knowing me at all. Then they blame their anger on non-FBAs and claims FBAs have always been welcoming. It never ends. Not to mention the wild statements I skipped over. Quote, we are the leaders. They are the followers. I'm tired of African and Caribbean people. Get out of our business and go fix your dilapidated homeland. Fixing America is not my job, but I promise you, I'll try my best with the skills I have. In case you haven't heard, we're going through a lot right now. White America's 2 dads broke up in the first week of Pride Month. Lilo and Stitch was mid. Tyler Perry's still writing TV shows. Yes, Juneteenth is for us, meaning Native Black Americans, but it was not solely caused by us. The only reason we were able to get to the point where we could have a Juneteenth celebration was because of people like Denmark Vesey. You probably heard the name before, but you probably didn't know that he was born, raised, and enslaved in St. Thomas in the West Indies. He ended up in Charleston, South Carolina, bought his freedom later on, and planned a slave revolt, mirroring the revolution in Haiti. His plan was to revolt and sail to Haiti before the law could catch up with them after they killed the slave masters. A couple people snitched, and he ended up getting hanged. These are the people y'all want to delineate from. People who worked next to you and plotted escape with you. Some of the FBA's watching this probably took offense to me calling Tether and Anchor derogatory slurs earlier. They were slurs mostly used towards Latin immigrants before Tariq put them on the official website for your movement. Now they just apply to more people. That's y'all's legacy. Congrats. For a group that claims to be so pro-black, it's starting to smell real white supremacist in this bitch. I'm not new to this, though. When I covered Umar last year, I got called all kinds of cone. But this guy is worse than Umar by a magnitude of 10.
Black political content in social media has been trash for half a generation. It's been garbage since it came online because it was really birthed.
They are the same. Umar and Tariq are the same. They're no different.
And or into the manosphere. It's a lot of barbershop philosophy,
100%.
a lot of mythology, a lot of conspiracy theories. And it's not even like, oh, you gotta have a degree.
Man,
There's really just no intellectual rigor.
That's
you know,
absolutely.
and that's why, and like even I'm very critical of Umar, but Umar is Malcolm X compared to Tariq Nasheed. You know what I'm saying? Umar is Michael Eric Dyson, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like he is Professor Emeritus compared to Tariq Nasheed.
The chat introduced me to another new term that's important for this video. Off-code FBA. That's what they called me once they finally figured out that I'm not an immigrant. See, this is how they label people within their own group who disagree with their ideology or Tariq's ideology, since he created the code they're referring to. The rest of the terms, y'all know them already.
I inadvertently feed a lot of tethers, niggas, busters, sambos. I feed a lot of these people inadvertently.
For anybody under 40 years old, buster is old black slang for loser or lame. I wonder which one of these he's going to call me after he watches this video. We got one more vocab word, and that's writer. It's what FBA's use to refer to immigrants who are on our side, who advocate for us, fight with us. They call Malcolm X a writer. They call Marcus Garvey a writer.
Yeah, and you know, that's another thing. How old Tariq's slang is, and he gets over on this. His slang is just old as hell, man. I don't understand.
Writer, etc. But as I've said several times, the insults to these people's homeland disqualifies y'all from using that term.
You can't have this both ways.
I'll say, check. You know, we can talk about Marcus Garvey, we can talk about Biggie, we can talk about Malcolm X, Grenada. You can talk about so many of these different figures. The Black Negro National Anthem was written by a Bahamian from Florida. There's so many different examples. But you know, granted, we don't need to talk about that too much. You're black. I could take pride in it, but I don't need to wield it like a Yu-Gi-Oh card and say, you know, I don't need to do that. And yet again, I come back to empathy because I get it. You need, or you feel like you have to find different qualifiers to bargain and barter for your worth to this experiment, the American experiment. So when you bring up the different black contributions to the United States, what you're doing is you're at the table and you're trying to negotiate, not with me, you know, but with white supremacy itself and saying, hey, I have value. Let me in the club. Let me in the club. Stop.
Bingo. 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 Hold on a second, man. See, this is what I'm saying. I mean, bingo with this, man. This is nothing more than, this is like some talented 10th shit. That's what this is. It's like the talented 10th. This is like this is like the modern day Blue Vein Society. This right here. This is what this is. There's no African or no Caribbean or no, you know, people with power that are coming in that are uprooting you from anything. You guys are acting like you're better than everyone else. Now, America does the same thing with other countries, and you're just following suit with your own people. Like, this is gonna give you more power. That dude was absolutely right. You are like the new version of the talented 10th. That's what you are. We created everything. We did this. We did that. Y'all ain't do nothing. Yeah, you created everything and you don't run shit. You're blaming that on foreign blacks? That man was dead on what he said. Listen to what he says again. You want me to slow it down? I'll slow it down. I'll slow it down. Let's slow it down. Let's listen to what this guy says. Listen to him.
You need, or you feel like you have to find different qualifiers to bargain and barter for your worth to this experiment, the American experiment. So when you bring up the different black contributions to the United States, what you're doing is you're at the table and you're trying to negotiate, not with me, you know, but with white supremacy itself.
Bingo.
And saying, hey, I have value. Let me in the club. Let me in the club. Stop shooting me. Stop calling me out my name. Treat me as a human being. I've done for you. Please do for me.
And this is why you see him doing shit. And I said that in my last video about how that girl that killed that McDonald's manager. and he put up the post. This girl, where's she from? Is she a tether? When Doechii, who by the way is she's the prettiest black female rapper out right now, in my opinion. She's beautiful. She's just nutty. But she said that stupid shit about, oh, the first red flag when she meets a man is he a straight man. That was crazy. All right. But he said, oh, is she a tether? When the guys in Memphis, when those Memphis cops brutalized that guy, all right, he said, well, where are they from? You see? That's what he's trying to do. Oh, George Floyd, but wait, is George Floyd a tether? Yeah, you know what? We're not. George Floyd is a tether. We don't do that type of. We don't smoke perks or do illegal shit like he does. That's not us. That's them. Yeah. This is what he does. This is exactly what this is. This is exactly what this is. And it took a tether to tell you all of this.
And unfortunately, as you're seeing, they ain't gonna do it.
It's a losing proposition. I think it always has been, and I've been fighting my kind of doomer tendencies as I write this to be like, y'all, we're not gonna get reparations. Like y'all know that, right?
I'm not even worried about reparations.
No, man.
Because like
these are two black Americans speaking, folks. All right. So when people say that these foreign blacks are coming in speaking against reparations, that is untrue. That's untrue. Show me who they are. You show me one, I'll show you 10 black Americans who are speaking out saying ain't no reparations check coming. And like I said from the very beginning of this video, these two are on the far left. All right. So obviously they're not against He told you beginning of the video he's for reparations. So let's continue.
Political education in America among black people is so bad. Reparations would be such a setup. It would be such a setup, in my opinion, in my limited opinion. And I open myself up to critique from people that actually know better than me.
This pie in the sky kind of hypothetical that ADO shoots for, that FBA says it shoots for, but we'll never actually be able to organize effectively enough to get.
All I think about reparations is Jay-Z doing Bitcoin in the hood. Like that's all I can think about is in PPP loan nonsense. Like don't be wrong, it'll be good for some people, but like it would have to be such a societal restructuring presented to me that I'm like, there's no way we can fuck this up. Versus like a big check for a bunch of grifters to go grab so we can give it to Earn Your Leisure. You know what I'm saying? Boyce Watkins, Jay-Z, and Tariq Nasheed.
All right, it's time for
by the way, you think what they're saying is wrong? Let's go ahead and revisit, all right? Because you have to be reminded from time to time about who is for what people really think about reparations. And who better to tell you what you think about what they think about reparations or than these two right here. Where are we? Oh. Yeah. These guys. So you have to be reminded from time to time, since you guys are your heads are so up in the clouds. Let's hear what these guys have to say about reparations. Let's go. No, not this. No, not this. Why does it go there? Come on. What just happened here? Piss me off. Keep going. It's crazy, man. Hold on a second, y'all. God, fucking my shit up. You fucking with the flow of my shit. All right? Okay. All right, let's go. What? Come on, man. What the hell? Here it goes. Let's listen.
They change our spending habits with the reparations money? Yes, when you've never been responsible with your own damn money? What happened to all the stimulus checks Black America got? What we do with that for the people? What about our tax returns? What do we do with that for the people? What have we done since Dr. King's murder 55 years ago, financially and collectively, to transform our reality? Nothing at all. And that's why I've said I do not believe that the current generation of African people should be responsible for the dissemination or discussion over reparations, because we haven't done anything worthwhile that will entitle us to that type of responsibility. Slavery reparations do it, because Black folks as a whole...
This is your daddy right here talking.
Any kind of money that's given directly, there has to be some type of structure to it. If you start giving niggas, let's say every Black person in America will get $10,000 next month in January, that niggas will be broke again on January 15th. It has to be organized. You cannot give niggas money right now. So right back up and give it right back to everybody else. Going by June, it'll be going by in 15 days. So you mean to tell me we're going to radically change?
Oh man, see These are your thought leaders right here. All right. So before you get mad at these guys, your boys, this is what they thought about reparations until, of course, he figured out a way to monetize the whole movement. So let's continue.
World tour. This is how the Black immigrant population in America broke down by percentage as of 2021. Let's see what other ethnic groups Tariq insults when one person from that group offends him in some way.
Is not as bad as your failed homeland.
Now
where
hold
y'all
on,
over there
folks.
beating
Hold on.
Population in America broke down by.
Look at this. All right. This right here, this is the black immigration, the black immigrant black immigrant percentage in America. Jamaica, only 16%. Look at this shit. Guys, look at this. Only 14% out of Haiti. All right. 8%. Notice the three people that he goes against the most: Jamaica, Haiti, and Nigeria. Huh? 60. Look at this. Excuse me. The country is how big? I don't know the population of America. Probably, I don't know. Like, could it be like, I don't know, maybe a couple, like a billion, or maybe, I don't know, a couple billion or whatever. Guys, look, like the world population I know is like 9 billion. So America's got to be somewhere maybe like a billion or something. I don't know. I mean, it's the most popular country. So look at this. This is stopping you from getting reparations? 760 million, 1,000? That's how many Jamaicans are in the country. 72,000. That's how many Haitians are here. Nigerians, not even nowhere near 400,000. Look at this. And these are, and all other countries, 1.6, 1.7 million. Oh my God. I'm getting tired. I'm just tired, bro. Really? And you're telling me that this guy ain't getting paid to cause cell separation? You can't use these numbers to help you? Man, listen. Let's continue.
As of 2021. Let's see what other ethnic groups Tariq insults when one person from that group offends him in some way.
Look at this. 4%. This is how much are in the country. And you're saying they're a threat? Let's continue, man.
Is not as bad as your failed home.
Now, fuck this dude. By the way, this, going after this guy, this is low-hanging fruit. This weirdo right here. This guy's low-hanging fruit. This dude, for those who don't know, Myron, you probably know him. I did a video on him. This dude attacks black people and calls them degenerate, but his whole show and what made him rich is putting the worst of black women and black people on his show and promoting him. Piece of shit this dude is, as well as peers. But let's continue.
Homeland, where y'all over there beating in the head with hyena legs. It ain't that bad. You're not going to come over here and discuss any of that with us while your homeland is janky, toe down, and raggedy.
Here's a caption.
Let me just say this. When he mentions homeland, again, fuck Myron Gaines, all right? But guys, just think for a second. I want you to think for a second. A lot of you guys are from different places. Some of you from California. Maybe you're from the Bay Area. Maybe you're from LA. Maybe you're here in the East Coast, New York, down south or whatever. I remember I went to Miami, and when you think about Miami, right? Obviously you think about the beaches and the sun and the condos and the nice mansions and stuff. Some of you may have not gone to Liberty City. Liberty City, let me say this. If you ever get really depressed, right, and you feel that, you feel kind of cornered in and you feel that you want to find a place to expire, right? Fly down to Liberty City and just sit there. All right. You sit there and trust me, you just sit there for the day. Eventually you'll disappear. All right. You'll disappear by the time the day's up. It's that bad. But if I showed you Miami and just showed you a picture of Liberty City, obviously you say, wow, this is a dump. But Miami is one of the major cities in the entire country. You know that there's more exclusive, there's more beauty. All you got to do is look on the internet. There are places in Baghdad, all right, in Iraq, because people always show the Iraq bombs and stuff. You can just go online, press real estate in Iraq, and find that, and you'll see beautiful places there. Like, come on already. And this guy's constantly, oh, you just fix up your dilapidated homestead. Go online and look at some of the Jamaican content creators or Haitian content creators. These guys are really dumb, man. Let's continue.
He took an opportunity to insult Caribbean people for no goddamn reason.
What does a statue look like? That was the statue of the woman in Times Square. And listen, some of that was problematic as far as the statue. I was supposed to do a video, and I still can. The statue is problematic in a couple of reasons, a couple of ways, right? But who said it was a Caribbean woman?
Claiming this statue of an anonymous black woman in Times Square looks like an immigrant with a fake nursing degree. How are you the racist backlash the headlines are talking about?
They ever talk about a woman with quote unquote multiple husbands? What she basically is, she's a referee for gayness. The dudes are always moist. Hyphenated Negroes are working in cahoots with the white supremacists against us. These are the Negroes who are black plus something else. Black lesbian, black LBGT. They are black immigrants. They are black and Creole. They are black and Jamaican. I've heard that before.
The homophobia during Pride Month.
Now, like I said, these guys are on the far left, so they are LGBT allies. You know, I think everybody's allowed to live, you know, whatever. You know, I'm not, you know, I don't bash LGBT, but I'm not an ally either. Okay, I mean, I think, you know, black first, put it like that. All right, and if you happen to be black, and if you happen to be black and gay, I mean, that's not, I don't care about that. All right, but you know, this idea that, okay, we got to fight, but it bothers me. Let me just say this: whenever people say, okay, black, you know, black people and the trans, I mean, I'm not around trans people, just like I'm not around, you know, Chinese people. You know, so why about just black people, period? You know, but this is what I say. These guys are they're like far to the left. All right, let's deal with the black folk and black family and black man, woman, and child first, and then deal with everything else. And people, I don't know why people find that to be offensive, but let's continue.
It's like waiting for Juneteenth to call the cops on a black barbecue. In that most recent comment, he was trying to say that if you hyphenate your identity with black, you must be insulting black people by distancing yourself from being full black.
That's that intersectionality talk, meaning they're black.
So this is why you guys got so fed up about the African American term. All right, a term that's 38 years old. 38-year-old term, it offends you more than 600 years of oppression. No, I get it.
They ain't black.
Tariq fundamentally does not understand the concept of intersectionality or racial identity for that matter. How is attaching your sexual orientation to your ethnicity an insult to black people? How is letting people know you're Creole and black a bad thing? This is who y'all choose to follow. Whose man's is this? Remember what stage?
So I guess, Roderick, you're FBA, right? I'm guessing you're an FBA dude, correct? I'm guessing that's what you are. You're FBA. All right. Y'all content creators are beggars to me. Whatever, bro. I mean, yeah, Myron. Yeah, I like fuck Myron and those clowns and those freaking incels over there. Fuck them.
We're in discrimination and dehumanization. We're moving into that second one when he says,
see, because in their minds they view themselves different from black Americans. So this is why it's very easy for them to undermine us. These hyphenated Negroes are very dangerous. There's always the main four is the black feminist, black immigrant, black LBGT, black swirler. You cannot point to anything that immigration has done in the last 40 years, or hell, I go 60 years.
This guy just makes up shit. You make up shit, bro. You make up a lot of stupid shit.
Nobody can point to how it has helped Native Black Americans. I keep asking this question publicly. All I get is deflection.
Yolanda Jean, Haitian refugee.
Now, he's going to break down a couple of people that are, in fact, black immigrants that fought for you crusty ass FBAs. All right. He's going to bring that up and he's going to bring up examples of what they had to go through from you clowns. Because as he mentioned before, I want to bring it back. You guys just want to be your own talented 10th, like the Caribbean brother just told you. You want to be the new blue bloods. That's what you want to be. You want to be the new bourgeois. That's what you want to be. That's what all this is.
Participated in the 1993 hunger strike at Guantanamo Bay. America refused to allow HIV-positive people in during the early 90s, and these captives strike nearly wiped them out. After being brought to the U.S. and recovering, she became a powerful voice for HIV advocacy and brought Black Americans up by name on the biggest stage possible.
Wait, was that? I think that was that song "Hands Across America"? I think that's what that video was. But yeah, she I'm gonna go through this. Yeah, she basically.
Moi pas dit que tout Américain c'est même, mais c'est gouvernement américain qui a une politique que la mener envers noirs, surtout pour haïtiens.
Esmeralda Simmons is a child of St. Croix immigrants and has been a New York lawyer for decades. She advocated for equity in public education, voting, policing, and the child welfare system as the center's executive director for 34 years.
Our students are our future. What we need to do is to get involved at the school level and then go to the school district, then expand out to the whole Department of Education. Go to those hearings when they're calling for hearings to express your opinion.
She mentioned the Department of Education, you know, the department that your president wants to cut. Go on.
Let them know that your school is not working. Let them know whether you want a charter school. Let them know what is going on with your particular students, because your student reflects all the other students in New York City.
Since you said immigrants, Tariq, and not just Black ones, let's get Nihad Awad in here. He's the National Executive Director of the Council on American Islamic Relations and was in the White House to discuss American Muslims a few days after September 11th. Not sure if you knew this, but there's a lot of Black Muslim FBAs.
My stepfather is Nigerian, and I remember some negative experiences. I grew up Muslim at our masjid in Chicago. This was a chosen child, situation, right? And I remember getting really small plates of jollof rice compared to the other kids sometimes. I'd be really upset about that, and not realizing what it was all about until later in life. And let's not act like the FBA-ness of it all has created, a negative feedback loop. If that makes sense.
The Black Alliance for Just Immigration advocates for both immigrants and Native Black Americans. They spell that out on their site and all promo materials. They provide technical assistance and education.
Let's read this. Bujai, right? Educates and engages African American, but then again, these fools want to cut African away from American. They trying to be American, aka bourgeois, blue bloods, talented 10th, uppity, you name it. That's what they want to be. So we want to cut Africa completely away from this word. So but African American and Black immigrant communities to organize and advocate for racial, social, and economic justice, local organizing committees in New York, Georgia, California, Florida, with staff in Texas and Minnesota, build coalitions and initiate campaigns among communities to push for racial justice.
To local communities to push for civil rights progress and stop people like you from dividing us further.
Today we have more news in the fatal shooting.
Now this guy right here, I got a DC reports. This new clown coming up somewhere. You must work for the white man because you worried about. Okay, yeah, dude, you gotta tone your shit down, bro. Seriously, tone this shit down. All right. Now that type of stuff, we can engage, but I'll have to cut you off in a second, bro. That I'm not gonna do. Okay, let some clown try to fuck up my shit. You're not gonna do that. You got something, and see again, these FBA people, they're really low rent. They're not that intelligent. All right. So you're gonna see them doing what this dude did. Now, if you want to talk like a human being, we can do that. All right, but the bottom line is you're getting cooked right now. This is why you responded the way you did. Let's continue.
More news today about the police killing of a local African American woman at her home.
There's literally a campaign under the same parent organization.
Fight anti-blackness. Black justice is immigrant justice.
Called Black Justice is Our Justice. They're doing more than talking shit on the internet.
Now that one was some intersectionality right there, because you saw all the check marks in that one. So
this is not survival. It's a reaction to pain and betrayal, but it's not a strategy for long-term power. If unity didn't work before, it's not because Black people across the diaspora weren't trying. It's because white supremacy has always deliberately kept us apart. The FBA response, instead of healing that division, is deepening it by turning on the very people who should be allies.
There's a lot more examples than those few. They've always been fighting alongside us in overt and covert ways. Don't let anybody, especially some pseudo-intellectual Negro with a God complex, convince you otherwise. And don't get it twisted. A lot of y'all are convinced. I came across this article in the Los Angeles Times about a Jamaican immigrant named Winsome Pendergrass.
Listen to this woman's story right here. Listen to this woman's story and listen what she has to go through from clown Negroes who she's trying to work for. Let's continue.
Lives in Brooklyn. Her day job is as a private nursing assistant for seniors. And when she isn't doing that, she's demonstrating and lobbying public officials for affordable housing and tenants' rights.
I'm fighting for all Black people, she says.
In Black and brown neighborhoods. She said, quote, the people who tell me to go back to my country the most are Black people,
of course,
not white people. She feels this great divide because she's from the islands. The Times ran focus groups with immigrants from the Caribbean and sub-Saharan Africa, and several of them said that the reason they avoid associating with us, meaning FBAs, is because Black Americans treat them more harshly.
When my shift is over, I want to go home to my children.
This dude right here, this guy is a hater. He's fun. He can do he can do impressions and stuff, but like this dude is a full coon. And oh yeah, I remember doing an information man. You probably did a video on this guy too. The little situation that him and Tiffany got into. Yeah, that weirdo shit. Yeah, so let's just go past this dude. And also another buffoon in Steve Harvey. Yeah, we got to go past this. Yeah, we remember this video from Boys in the Hood. Let's go past this. Let's go.
He's undertaken that's designed to benefit us. And he also happens to be a self-supremacist who surrounded himself with white supremacists. Tariq's mentality is making this happen. Keep watching if you think I'm exaggerating or giving him too much credit.
Hold on.
I'm from Africa. You from Africa. You African booty scratcher.
Many FBAs are perpetrating the same hateful and discriminatory experiences you complain about. As an example, here's what happened to Winsome one day on a crowded city bus during Trump's first term. A Black man refused to make space for her when she tried to sit, and they exchanged words. A Black woman was all up in their business, picked up on her accent, and jumped to an assumption Tariq would make. The woman said, quote, I can't wait till Trump runs them back home. Let them go back to their country. And Winsome asked her if she was talking to her, and the woman doubled down. Quote, yes, Trump's going to run you out.
Yeah, Trump's going to run her out, I'm sure. Like, again, and I've asked this question a million times. Once you get rid of all the immigrants, do you have next? And it's like none of these quote unquote FBA ADOS, whatever the fuck, they never have an answer for that. You run them out, do you have next? Continue.
I don't think I need to point out the Jedi mind trick that will convince any Black woman that Trump's on their side in any way. There's not a single action he's undertaken that's designed to benefit us. And he also happens to be a self-supremacist who surrounded himself with white supremacists. Tariq's mentality is making this happen. Keep watching if you think I'm exaggerating or giving him too much credit. We're not done with this world tour. He had plenty to say about the LA protests earlier this month, namely that FBAs shouldn't care about immigrants unless they're sleeping with them.
Isaac came, got all these people. This ain't it. Really, brother? What you crying for? He must have took his little senorita. They took some pussy away from this nigga.
I said I was going to let my opinions be known about the.
And this man uses the N-word like it's his second language, but he attacks Fat Joe for using. Oh, let's continue.
Protests, and I can't be any clearer than this. Caring about other people is the only thing that makes society function. It functions in spite of callous capitalists who see entire groups of people as labor they can exploit, and former fake pimps like Tariq who see women as a collection of holes they can use. If ICE is allowed to deport undocumented people and those with protected status with no due process, which is what they're doing, nothing stops them from hitting every other class of citizen next. Our government can and will justify anything they're allowed to get away with. And protesting is about making sure they can't establish legal precedent, which is how our entire legal system works. They literally detained a green card holder, Mahmoud Khalil, and are trying to deport him right now because he criticized the genocide in Palestine. They're using a Cold War law saying he's adverse to America's interests. What happened to the First Amendment? Y'all talking about stay home. We're so cooked. I shouldn't have to do the whole they'll eventually get you speech. But it seems like basic human decency is in short supply in the 50-year-old high school dropout turned fake pimp turned rapper turned hotep grifter demographic.
Now, you want people to
now, listen. I'm just gonna pass this woman right here. All I can say, yeah, I discovered her during the election. All right, her channel's grown pretty big. All right. But she's an algorithm chaser. All right. Whatever the algorithm is, she hopped on that whole Black American shit when the Essence Festival came. So yeah, let me just continue. Let me just keep it moving with this woman because I can't. Let's go.
All right. Yeah. Y'all keep trying on Twitter. I know what the protest looks like. It don't look like what y'all are trying to do on Twitter, but get your likes, get your call up.
I'm not even gonna cuss this time. Tabitha, I hear your concerns. I hear you when you say you don't want to put yourself or your son in harm's way. But where we diverge is your reasoning. I don't know you. Who called him racist? After that caller said who called him racist? After that caller said America was his homeland.
You built some shit that failed, sir. Your homeland has cows and shit on the street, sir.
The caller calls him out for generalizing.
Okay, now, again, how does he generalize? And by the way, he's speaking to an Indian, an East Indian. Now, these East Indians are racist as fuck. All right, you run into them, they are racist as fuck. A lot of these people, but you're still generalizing as far as East Indians. Okay, I understand. Like you see Vivek and that other conservative Indian. Yeah, I understand that. I get that. And you got one is East Indian that's married to your vice president. So I understand all of that, but you're still generalizing.
And brings up Diddy as an example. Since Diddy obviously doesn't represent all FBAs, I could give you 100 tries and you would never guess what Tariq says after that.
Since you're telling me all these people are representatives of the Indian community, Diddy's a representative of you. He's a rich black dude from America.
Okay, I take success over people making bushmeat and goop scoops. Okay, yeah, okay. I don't know what kind of insult that is.
Guys, listen to how ignorant this guy. Could you imagine if you get your reparations check? If it happens, you're gonna have this guy speaking for you in front of Congress. He already showed you, or he's gonna show you. You're gonna see when this guy gets in front of a microphone. This guy's gonna speak and for your reparations.
You're straight up racist, dog.
How? He's not running a sex code. He had a freaky ass Filipino chick that liked to get peed on. So yeah, the trial is.
Oh my God! Just listen to this.
The sexual testament.
Go continue.
Messages she was forced to read out loud in court made up one day of testimony out of several that also included violence and coercion from Diddy.
And the fact that you're sitting up here agreeing with
folks. Listen, just a little short thing on the Diddy trial. Listen. Cassie, for those people who were anti-Diddy, right? Cassie had a chance to walk away. She did. She did have a chance to walk away. She could have just left. Just like you could leave your job that you can't stand and that you despise, and you have to wake up every morning to drag yourself to go to that job every morning. You can get up and leave and do what you really want to do. But you know that you can't do that. And she was given the carrot she was given. That Diddy held in front of her 10 albums, and you can live in luxury and riches and drive around in fancy cars and fly in private planes. Obviously, she got hypnotized by that lifestyle. But make no mistake, even when she decided that, when she was initiating the freak-offs and so on, she was trained. She was groomed. How is it that you have Diddy as this boss and this mega boss man and all this other bullshit, and then when he gets in trouble, Cassie forced him to do the shit. How does that work? But again, Tariq Nasheed, like I said earlier, this guy is fame hungry. He wants Diddy to notice him so Diddy can say, yo, I need you on my team. Whenever you'll be my PR spokesman, I'll pay you a couple $1 million. This is what this guy is auditioning for. He knows that a lot of black people are dumb, and that all we do is we worship celebrities. So instead of pulling black people out of the celebrity idol worship, he drags them back in, and he shames you for not getting behind a degenerate like Diddy. Let's continue.
The feds shows that you are a colonized cancer to our culture.
Notice how he conveniently ignored that this man kicked the shit out of her on tape in favor of calling him.
And let me keep going because this is ScrewTube, remember.
He does it on Twitter, calling black women bedwench, a term from the slave plantation. The institution of slavery relied on the forced reproduction in order to produce more capital through the births of black bodies and black children. Yeah. So violent to take a term that was used by the slave master against black women that they were using to breed and throw that at black women in the 21st century.
My girlfriend and I just celebrated our first anniversary. As we enter
now he talks about his girlfriend. His girlfriend's from is Caribbean, I believe. Let's continue.
Second year together. I still can't believe how fortunate I am that she's in my life. She was born in America and spent several of her early years in Ethiopia.
Okay, so she's African. So this is something that basically he's saying that this is personal for him. This is personal, okay? So yeah, these are, I guess that's the crew right there. But yeah, hold on a second.
First language, and she spent most of her life here at this point. The knowledge that Tariq has poisoned the culture to the point where she's felt unwelcome at times pisses me off. This is deeply personal. And if I have to walk through every angle of what makes this dude a loser to drive the point home, it is what it is. Baby, I know you're watching this. I love you. And I'll clarify that in her case, it's mostly online. We get along in real life for the most part.
And I saw like getting thousands of likes and hundreds of retweets. I was just like, wait, hold on. Is this just a small underground section of people? And then like I saw people interacting with it, and I was just like, hold on, this don't make no sense. I don't feel like these are that many people. And then you look into the likes, and then you look into the reposts, and then you go to these profiles, and then you see something even more pernicious. A lot of these ain't real. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, sorry, I have to drop it. This thing that we be doing online is the same thing with the gender wars. You don't have that really happening like that in real life. Black America.
Nah, sir, I gotta see. Hold on a second. I'm gonna show you why I think he's wrong here. All right, hold on. I gotta show you that he's wrong. I have to, because yeah, I wish it was. I wish that was the case. I do. I wish it was the case that, you know what, these guys are nothing but bots and they're not real, and that they are, you know, don't worry about it. This is some online bullshit. I get that. Let me show you how this thing is very, very freaking real. Very real. All right. And I've shown this before. Actually, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me just I'm gonna show you that this shit is extremely, extremely real. Let's see, boom. Nope. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, guys. This is this weirdo that I had to deal with online. Well, I didn't deal with him. He didn't even. He actually blocked me from his chat. So excuse me. We didn't have any dealings at all. I got blocked from the chat. But this is him reviewing this same video that I'm doing right now. Okay, this is your boy. This clown right here. He's reviewing the same video I'm reviewing now, and he called this guy a tether, and I'm like, no, he isn't a tether, you clown. And of course, you know, you move over, and I did get blocked. All right, I got blocked. Actually, hold on a second. Let me go back to this. Yeah, you see this? You've been placed in timeout by the owner of this video or moderator. All right, so this is a whole peanut gallery here. And no, these aren't just bots. Bots aren't giving money to these dudes, and they celebrate, oh, I hit the 20,000 mark, I hit 30,000. This is a grift, folks. This is all this is a mega major grift. All right, so let's get back to this dude. No, I again, no, these aren't just bots, bro.
And the rest of the black diaspora have gotten along. Now, are there transgressions between black Americans and the rest of black? Sure. Do black Americans come up to me and go say, "Hey, what up, man? Pick up yourself." Do they do that? Sure. Sometimes I do a little bit of a black sin, and and we go back and forth with that. We roast. That's what happens amongst colleagues. That's fine. That's cultural diffusion. I ain't getting mad at that. It is what it is.
Many of these immigrants, they get online and start openly criticizing us, talking about we lazy, ungrateful, we ain't got no culture, as they cosplay as us.
He pretends to be
Wait a minute. All right, let's say that you got there are immigrants that come on and say that. How about the whites in this country that aren't giving you a freaking job? Black women, aren't black women getting fired or let go more than any other group? What about them? Like, hold on a second. They say this. Okay, again, who cares? Find these guys. Okay, I'll show you more black Americans that say the same thing or worse. But hold on a second. Time out. Yeah, they say that, but what about the groups of other people, like the one I named before, like the owner of the Clippers? How many black people has he displaced? basically without even knowing sometimes. Let's continue.
In who he roasts, but in reality, being selective requires maturity and restraint. Bro, you've clearly never exercised either one.
Hold on, let me.
Tariq is not the first wannabe leader to think having a massive following makes him Malcolm X. Full disclosure, Tariq has not achieved his goals in the organization stage. He is not capable of leading an intramural basketball team, much less leading a disparate group of his peers and followers to the promised land of reparations. How do I know this? The utter disaster known as the FBA conference in the year of our Lord 2020 AD.
I've gone over this before, the FBA conference. Actually, let me just go down. I'll just put the link in the chat. But I've gone through this. That whole FBA conference was a mess. It was a bring your own cooler conference. Just the skinny of that conference, guys. This was during the pandemic. I think I explained this before. During the pandemic, he basically collected $200,000, $200,000 for a 3-hour meeting. Bring your own cool. People had coolers at their chairs. Come on, guys. Actually, let me just put the link in the chat. Oh my God. I'm not, this, what he's doing is not illegal. Let me just say that. He's not doing anything illegal. It's just he never do that to anyone but black people. That's the link, man. He's just talking about it, and I've gone through the and so did Yvette, and so did Michi, who happened to be down there. All right, like this is just weirdo shit. But let's look at this.
A bunch of the pictures. Boys had masks on at first, then took it off. We were talking to Joe Brown. Everybody did everything they wanted to do, and it didn't make no sense. Doors opened at 3 p.m. It didn't start until around 6, I'm told.
I'm putting her dissing Tariq in this video because I enjoy when two wildly erratic, super wrong people tear each other apart.
Yep.
Like Trump and Elon.
You have to understand the con that he pulled on y'all.
First, a little background. ADOS threw a conference at some point during that period from 2019 to 2020, where Tariq was actively beefing with them. And it was actually well done. I can't co-sign anything that was said there, but the visuals were legit. It was in a humble venue, like a black church, but they packed that joint out for way less than 6 figures. Tariq ran off with the bag on y'all. He raised $118,775 American dollars from you, his loyal followers on Indiegogo.
Mind you, guys, that $200,000, somebody pulled up that this guy had a $200,000 lien on his house. All right. I just want to explain this again because some of y'all are slow as hell. All right. The man had the conference at a place right next to the Mercedes Center in Atlanta. The Mercedes Center is where the Atlanta Falcons play. That is prime real estate. That's like Madison Square Garden up here in New York. All right. Expensive as hell. He could have done it in a church. All right. Had something much bigger, would have been much, it would have helped a lot of black folks during the pandemic, but that's not the goal. It was about him getting most of the bag, and a 3-hour conference is 3 hours, guys. 3 hours. 3 hours. Like, smarten up already.
Well, this trailer feels gross. Since when did we claim the flag like this?
FBI. Oh, we got another Tariq fanboy in the house. Franklin White, what's the deal? What's going on? Got another one for Tariq's little fanboys there. One male groupies, I guess.
Adopting the flag in their bios and names as some fake counter protest about how this is our country is noble on.
Look at this. Tether said we had no. Look at this. This is just. Tether said we had no power. They thought the black American vote, it didn't matter. Oh my God. No more of the I was born here BS. I will go in front of the, it will go in front of the SCOTUS. Guys, I think I'm going to show you, some of the tweets that I've seen before I'm done with this video. These people are really delusional.
Paper, but we all know the implications of an American flag in your profile on Twitter. Automatic block, do not follow.
But then he's now pivoting towards a nativist, foundational Black American rhetoric that attunes itself or attaches itself to the American flag. Y'all are some curious ass Negroes that really just are very invested in a historical take.
You're subscribing to alt-right iconography and claiming it's different when you do it. The description for the event gave us one of my favorite word salads. Quote, FBAC 2020 will also feature think tank forums that will brainstorm on solutions for a foundational Black American agenda.
Which they never did. There was no, guys, this was done in 2020. Does FBA have a PAC? Do they have a party. They have nothing. They've done nothing but bash black immigrants. For 5 years, they've done nothing.
Throws a conference without an agenda. You trying to sell tickets for hundreds of dollars to a brainstorming session? We could have done that on the internet. How did he use all that money? He booked the Georgia World Congress Center for 3 hours after promising that this conference would be popping.
We're gonna have something like
Guys, the Georgia World Conference Center. Again, that is right next. Again, you just gotta you use a little common sense here, guys. Just the location and how much that costs, what he paid for it. Bring your own cooler. 3 hours. Just use a little brain power.
Revolt. Well, let me just say, Revolt had a 3-day conference. You did 3 hours. This man talked y'all into going.
Again, I have to bring this up again. I've said this before, right? I watched this thing. I watched how this thing came together. I watched this thing come into fruition live when he was watching the Revolt conference and said, gee, my fans are telling me I should do something like this. That was him. That was him figuring out how to infiltrate your group. And he said, they said I should do a Revolt conference. Just like he said, oh, we got to do a museum, knowing that shit that he showed you in the commercial was never going to be a museum. He shows you the big picture, the lot, and we're gonna have blah blah blah, and he gives you a little backyard hookah lounge. We've shown you this. It's the same thing with this. When you think of conference, you think something big like the Democratic National Convention or NRA conference. This was like a Wednesday night church meeting. People told you this.
To a mixer. That's his stage. This was the ADOS conference stage. And I'm about to put them up side by side because people don't understand. Compare these two stages. You tell me which one. You tell me who got it popped.
And to be fair, when last has Yvette had another ADOS conference? Let's just keep it a stack. But this was better. Cornell West was there. Who was there at this one? Go watch my video, man. I told you.
Who are y'all following? Sometimes you got to tell the truth and shame the devil. Sometimes you got to shine the light on the lie. Is that popping? Was he popping? Did nobody know why they was there, why they came, and nobody left with anything. And that's why you didn't see a whole lot of FBA hashtagging. I don't understand. I don't understand how you allowed yourselves to be taken advantage of like this.
Speaking of taking advantage of, y'all gave him over $1 million to build the Hidden History Museum, which, to his credit, he built. It exists. He made this tacky, self-promoting reality TV style promo, had Vivica Fox come to the premiere, and then took all the profit from the Hidden History Museum for himself. Where's the money, Tariq? Where's it going? Y'all give him money for all his projects, and then he flips it into an income-generating machine for himself. He has a Melanoid Nation Foundation that's probably done one genuinely good thing in all the years it's been in operation, which is give backpacks to some local kids. Beyond that, there's no track record of any of these fundraisers actually making a difference or ending up in a result that has benefited FBAs. Let's get specific. Let's start with Olu Stevens, a judge who got suspended for 90 days without pay for taking a stance against systematic unfairness. Now, pay attention to the wording in this GoFundMe. He raised $17,470 from y'all. And what he said the money is going to is spreading the word of all the work that he's done in the community and showing our appreciation. It does not.
When you see things over and over, sometimes you see new things. You need money to spread the word. Have you ever seen Tariq outside handing out flyers to anybody? Putting in legwork? Tell me the time when you've seen Tariq do that type of stuff. Do any type of grassroots work. Wow.
Not say that money is going to Olu Stevens for back pay to cover that 90 days. It says it's for spreading the word. Y'all paid him to talk. Maybe this next one's gonna hit. Helping Hands for Haiti. Sounds great, right?
Oh, this one. Oh my God. This one, in my opinion, should be investigated. My personal opinion, I think that someone should look back and really investigate it. This is just grimy right here.
Very striking picture. He raised $9,151 from y'all. Said he's going back to Haiti this week and needs access to clean water.
Damn.
They're gonna establish long-term and immediate.
Listen, guys, you can't. This is for the people who are banging on Umar right now. Again, he's getting dragged. That's fine. How is Tariq Nasheed not getting drilled with this shit? Look at this.
Outreach assistance. For long term, he's meeting with contractors and he's going to be building homes. Sounds incredible. Here's the video of him handing out portable water filters to random people on the street in Haiti who probably don't even know what they're grabbing right now. You made a film about them, then didn't follow through on your promises for what the money donated to that and the film packages and the products were for. I don't know where this money went. We'd love to know though, Tariq. This is the best one. Support FBA reparations for a Juneteenth celebration.
So, wow. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This was for the FBA March. Now, I know I'm gonna get people mad for saying this. I remember back I went to the Million Man March and I didn't know they collected money for that. The first one I'm talking about. All right. I didn't know they collected money for that. But turned out they did collect money for that. And and people were asking Minister Farrakhan the same thing. Where's the money? That he collected a bag, a mega bag for that. And Tariq, as you know, is the ultimate tether. He tethers anything, pimping, dating, also secret society grift, the DVD Black Power grift, this grift. So obviously he's gonna find out how it went down. And look at this. And Dr. Mayat, damn, this is not a good look, miss. And if you are in this next Hidden Colors, miss, I mean, I'm just saying. Well, let's continue.
In DC, he raised $56,191, exceeding his 50K goal from 1,700 of y'all. Again, what's the purpose of this money? Ultimately, he's using this money to pay for a concert, guest speakers, activists, and musical acts. He raised all that money to pay them and to set up the display, the lights, the stage, all these things, media promotion, travel and lodging for featured guests, and talent and lecturer fees are the main.
Hold on. The only person I know that was only the featured performer was Kane, Big Daddy Kane. He was the only featured performer. All right. And so he went there and, he did his thing and, he probably got some granny panties when he was there as well. Who knows? I mean, but he was the only guy that went there. So who else was getting paid to entertain?
Place that this money went, just like all his films, just like every event he's ever been a part of. He's an event organizer. He's a party promoter. He's not actually doing anything to benefit you. A rally is just a rally.
A party promoter. That's a great way to put it. That is a great way to put it. But this doesn't bring you anywhere closer to reparations.
All he ever does is set up agendas and set up rallies and talk a lot. Every dollar you've ever given him has either paid for somebody famous to come speak, come perform, or to set up the displays for the things he uses to dazzle. This is Grifter 101, and I honestly don't understand why people haven't seen it yet. Here's what happened when he spoke at a reparations town hall in California.
Much respect to all the brothers.
Here you go, guys. This is the guy that is going to be, this is what's going to happen when he goes before Congress. Look at this.
Brothers and sisters here in the Bay Area, first of all, I want to make 3 quick points about reparations and then let our other brothers and sisters speak. First thing, we have to understand we have to focus and keep the emphasis on it being lineage based. The problem is we see a lot of trick bag language being mixed into it where it opens the floor for other groups to come in and undermine us.
Okay. Trick bag language, all right? Is there official paperwork where this language is, or just people just talking? All right? If anyone, like, again, there are people who can say, oh, we're not going to give you reparations. Then there are people who say we want but where is the official paperwork where you can say this trick bag language? Break that down, sir.
Reparations in the form of lineage-based compensation is not a compensation for racism. Let's be very clear. If we open the door to racism, Hispanics can come in, Asians can come in, Middle Eastern people can come in. It will become affirmative action again, where we are left holding the crumbs and everybody else is holding the cake.
This is not YouTube. You don't get to greet the live stream and open with xenophobia. There's no AI thumbnail to back you up, bro.
With the
Thank you,
Homestead
sir.
Act.
Thank you so much for your comments
Thank you so
this
much,
morning.
Good night.
No, seriously, this is who y'all want leading your movement?
Yep.
Really?
If Tariq was as revolutionary as he purports,
yeah,
they would have killed him from time. FBI and they would have killed him from time, the same way that they did the rest. But because his rhetoric and his movement is in support of the system that exists, he's been allowed to run with impunity. He is.
Hold on. I just want to answer this guy. He claims that Tariq Irving was a producer on Microphone Check. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me because Kyrie Irving, nice guy. He means well, but he jumps into more rabbit holes than Bugs Bunny. So, yeah, it wouldn't shock me even a little bit, right? Wouldn't shock me even a little bit that Kyrie got wind of this foolery. And Kyrie's Indian, by the way. Like, Kyrie has jumped in every rabbit hole that FBA is in, Kyrie's in. So yeah, that wouldn't surprise me even a little bit.
not revolutionary. What he's saying is not pushing against the status quo, and he's not doing anything that threatens the power structure in any way, shape, or form. That's the reason why it hasn't retaliated against him.
He ran a disinformation campaign against Cobra, claiming they've been around since the 60s and haven't done.
He did that. Hold on. He did that. One of them just that he brought up Cobra. Not only did he do that, Marcel Dixon, that clown, that weirdo, the guy who had that failed run against in South Carolina, all right? The guy who was thrown off Twitter for doing all types of weird shit sexually, all right? That guy. The guy who debated one of the leaders in Cobra on what's her name? The real what's her name? That woman with Joe Brown, I forgot her name. But yeah, the real Dana, that's her name. Yeah. The guy was telling you that, yeah, reparations are for Black Americans. He kept bringing up the Freedmen bullshit. These guys are just there to block, to throw in a monkey wrench and everything to slow things down. That's all they're there for. But yeah, so
Cobra was founded in 1987.
Wait. Jay Morrison's name was brought up. Hold on. Let's read that because Jay Morrison's name was brought up.
He's been allowed to run with impunity. He is not revolutionary. What he's saying is not pushing against the status quo, and he's not doing anything that threatens the power structure in any way, shape, or form. That's the reason why it hasn't retaliated against him.
He ran a disinformation campaign against Cobra, claiming they've been around.
Okay, there it is. Jay Morrison tried to justify his views against our current reparations movement by dropping Cobra as his legitimate source. See, this is why you're not, again, sorry for everybody who thinks they're getting a reparations check. All right, you got nothing but grifters and scammers jumping to the forefront. Jay Morrison threw out reparations. That was when he was in the middle of his grift with the Tulsa shit. So he jumped in front of it and just threw out Cobra, not knowing nothing about it. He just knows Cobra reparations. Then Tariq, who's trying to start his own grift, the FBA grift, wants to eliminate Cobra. So this is what this was about. This is when those two had a little disagreement or beef because they were both trying to scam you.
Since the 60s and haven't done shit. Cobra was founded in 1987, has chapters throughout the U.S.
Oh my God. He doesn't even have the dates right. Founded in 87, not the 60s. He just throws anything out there.
Ghana and in London, has a board of directors, 9 national commissions for economic development, human resources, legal strategies, legislation, information and media, membership and organizational development, international affairs, youth and education. Formed a 501c3 corporation to back a legal defense, research and education fund. Believes all Black people of African descent in America deserve reparations and defines reparations as changes in or elimination of laws and practices that allow them to be treated differently and less well than white people. That's the tip of the iceberg of what they've done.
What the fuck are you gonna do?
Yes. Vegeta, Prince of Pride, yes. ADOS did also attack Cobra. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. That's how they started, by going after them.
What are you doing? Organize your people.
This is what happens when a fake revolutionary meets a real lack of organizational skill. How do you successfully produce, distribute, and market movies, but can't throw a multi-day conference? Oh yeah, because there was no money to make on the other side of this conference without a lot of hard work. And your films are ass.
Yeah, glad he brought that. Now it's time to go in on those films of his.
Of his polarization work takes place on YouTube these days, but he was able to build that following for a reason. Tariq is best known for his work on 8 independent documentaries: Hidden Colors 1 through 5, 1804, The Hidden History of Haiti, Buckbreaking, and Microphone Check. All of them have verifiable history within them. And all of them have plenty of inaccuracies and unproven conspiracy theories too.
Jesus ain't gonna say, pull your dress down, come in off the street, go clean up the house. You know, Jesus ain't gonna tell them that. And if he do, they ain't gonna listen to that.
I had to watch him for this video, and at times it's like if your aunties and uncles' dinner table gossip got swapped in for your world history class syllabus.
Alessandro Di Medici, who was a ruler in Italy, you look at pictures of him, this dude looks...
Guys, look at this guy. This guy is not Black.
It's like Ryan Leslie. So you can see that.
Oh, good Lord. Like, you guys in the next couple of years, look, actually, not even the next couple of years, understand none of these documentaries has found its way on a college campus. There's a reason for that. It's going to get laughed right off the fucking yard. Laughed off the campus, this bullshit.
That African bloodline running through a lot of these people.
I know what it takes to produce a short film. no matter what level of production you're at.
Now, let's
That's-
repeat that again, Tariq. I just want to make sure I heard you
You look
correct.
at pictures of him, this dude looks like Ryan Leslie. So you can see that African bloodline running through a lot of these people.
African bloodline running through a lot of these people. This is what you were pushing then, and now you're pushing this.
Know what it takes to produce a short film. No matter what level of production you're at, that is difficult. I know many people in the FBA community consider these to be important cultural productions. I've even seen that some parents show them to their kids as if he made Roots or something. If these films weren't so damaging to the culture, I'd be more empathetic in my criticism. Tariq's secret is his established relationships with academic heavyweights and black celebrities. They need press too.
No, not at all. I don't consider these. No academic heavyweight worth their salt will be pushed into this. But let's continue.
It allows him to maintain and expand his credibility as he spouts off theories next to people who studied this their whole lives and others who are obviously freestyling.
Really, when women are taught, women and men, but when you're taught as a female that...
A quick note on men who use the word female, like Tariq can't stop himself from doing. Female is an adjective used to describe the female member of whatever species. We already have a word for a female human. It's woman. Stop saying that. You sound stupid.
When you're taught as a female that God and Jesus is white, you're going to look at whites as somewhat of a savior figure. And you're going to look at the men in your life a little differently.
Kind of just work on that more. We need to stop going to church.
The thing is, I don't think any of these respected interviewees are aware of what a monster this dude is on social media. If they heard about him calling Yvette a hoe, throwing slurs out left and right, and insulting the homelands of the same ancestors they're discussing in the film, I feel like he wouldn't be able to pull this off anymore.
No, actually, sir, you're wrong there. You're wrong. Because they all know. They're all on the internet. Every last one of these people that are in this this Hidden Colors. Now, some of them, they were pulled in once, they figured it out, and they're not on there anymore. But the people, the regulars, that like some of the people you're gonna name, but that lady that you saw, Shahrazad Ali, she knows. She knows. James Small knows. RZA knows. All right. 19 Keys knows. He's gonna be a first time, but he knew. Polite knew. All right. Jabari is going to be on there probably. He knows. Maybe Jamar's going to be on. They all know. So you are wrong there, sir. They do know. They see this. Joe Brown knows. Joe Brown pushed some of the same rhetoric himself. They all know.
Essentially YouTube videos consisting of a bunch of interviews strung together with occasional graphics sprinkled in between that he paid somebody to make. I'm not even knocking him for that. I make YouTube videos too. But let's relax with the acclaimed filmmaker treatment. Every one of the Hidden Colors films is worse than the last somehow. Like, I expected them to get better over the years, and it just didn't happen. It would take a whole separate video to break down all the falsehoods, and other people have, so that doesn't seem necessary. I'll link that above. He sold them as mixtapes, essentially, and screened them in theaters, and he hit the right era, the right time where you could hustle those and make a ton of money off DVDs, and so he really hit it big off being one of the early pioneers in just this is YouTube. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's timing, but he's not a good filmmaker, and so I have to show people that.
Don't forget the Pimp stuff, though.
Yeah, no, that's a whole chapter, bro. Right. Now, there's plenty of positive reviews of these films. I've found most of those.
All right. However, I agree. Some of the film lacked coherence and empirical corroboration. Maybe the format didn't allow detailed proof claims, but absence hurts the film. I'm an educated Black Caribbean. Well, Digger is going to label her a tether.
Positive reviews to be void of substance. So I'm showing you negative reviews because they're fact-based, and it proves that there's things this documentary just got wrong. This first one says it's a really terrific piece of fiction, and what they zoomed in on was saying that Black people were the founders of classical music, or that we invented the piano, things that have been clearly disproven. This second review doubles down on that, specifically on the point that Black people created the piano. We just didn't. It was Europeans, and that's fine. Black people around the globe have achieved incredible things, and we deserve a lot of credit. But this film takes that credit from other cultures on a regular basis. Note that isn't a white conspiracy to erase.
But this is what FBA does. FBA, what they're doing is projecting, calling everybody else a tether, but they're the tethers. Everything's Black. You saw that guy who he said, "Oh, that's a Black person with African." The dude's mixed. Clearly got a lot of admixture in him. But let's continue.
His legacy. The films are just amateurish and lack fact-checking. He was actually an associate producer on one of Spike Lee's films, but that reinforces the fact that paying for other people to make stuff is clearly where he works.
Good grief. Guys, look at this. Come on, guys. This is a recent video right here. And guys, they're like, this is the guy that's going to be in front of Congress fighting for your reparations? Seriously? It would be one thing if, you did have some talent and he did this on the side. This guy sucks. Look at this shit. This is like, what, I mean, is this H-Town knocking the boots remix or something? Good grief. Oh, come on, guys. Timbo's and the, come on, yo. God damn. Seriously? This is the guy who's going to lead you to reparations. Oh my God. And whoever, I don't know what to tell you, man. He has, what is that, a troop jacket or something? Y'all remember? God.
Grading and editing are very clearly well beyond his capabilities. Y'all also pay for him to make these and sell them back to you. Buckbreaking is the one I really want to focus on, though. This petty-ass, conspiratorial, ugly piece of anti-queer propaganda focuses on connecting the horrors of slavery to the perceived rise in homosexuality among Black men.
Like, because I guess
now, you know, this guy right here, you know, he did, you know, he did something on this, but yeah, so he did, oh, my bad. Let me go here and, yeah. So he did do a review on Buckbreaking. I think, did I do that? Yeah, let me go ahead and just put in my Buckbreaking review as well. And listen to what this guy says about that monstrosity of a show. And again, he's talking about the anti-queer stuff. It's the marketing, what he used to market this shit that really disgusted me. But let's continue. Let's listen to what dude has to say.
AI wasn't out yet, so he clearly had people from Fiverr just draw him pictures of weird race, slavery, sex. He would put it right next.
All right, hold on. Yeah, you see this? So he's supposed to be sleeping with this guy right here. I guess he's supposed to be overseeing him. I guess this is what his bottom right here. But here's a type of photos just to give you an idea of what this guy was put. You saw this all over this type of stuff. These are the type of photos that he was pushing for Buckbreaking. So this is a guy who, like, look at this. So basically, you got to understand how bad this makes Black men look and how weak it makes you look, man. So Black men were just standing around, just looking at this, watching these two. Are you serious? And let me say this too. Look, people have accused this guy of playing both sides. He always throws the term bussy around and booty hole and all this other weird stuff. And if you look in his platform, always some sort of weird, picture of a man and his ass cheeks or whatever. Like, people have already thrown that out. All right. So for him to make Buckbreaking, it's almost like, I don't know, like a fantasy of his, because he's done this numerous times. All right. Let me just, did I put that in yeah. Just want to get yeah. This is Buckbreaking right here. Slowly bucks. Okay. Yeah, let me just put this down. But I did a review on this, but not only this, he put together a bunch of FTPs, and it was such self-hatred, such coonery and self-hatred, you like it wouldn't believe. Made Black people look. Yeah, you talking about with Jared Taylor, that black. Yeah, Buckbreaking was taken from Irritated Genie series, except Irritated Genie series did not show. Yeah, and Irritated Genie, I mean, I get it. That's what he's pushing, but I don't know whatever happened to him. Like, he disappeared. And what's up, Lashid? How you doing? Yeah, but and what's up, Ralph G? Yeah, like, this is, guys. Yeah, like guys, I'm telling you, eventually this is gonna die out eventually because you can only grift so much off of this. He's trying to move into the indigenous lane, and he's trying to get he's gonna try to push Dane Calloway out. I think that's gonna be like a steel cage match type of stuff because they are, let's face it, they're both heavyweights in this pseudology and grifting and just the charlatan, the coonography of it all. They're both charlatans, so it would be like a heavyweight steel cage match for this. But yeah, so this right here, let me just go back to it. Let me just go back to it. Yeah, this is just. I mean, obviously they're talking about this, and like I said, these guys are very far to the left. They're LGBTQ allies, and again, whenever they have panels, they put up her, she, and him, her. Again, I think that's dumb. I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't get with that. I mean, if you can't hear from my voice and I'm a man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. And no, I've never had any type of surgery or nothing. I don't have to do that. But listen, that is their part of their politics, and that's fine. But let's just get into this right here because this is interesting.
Queer trans woman.
It's basically a standard black barbershop conversation featuring all the greatest minds of our time. Documented anti-queer TV personality.
Yeah, this clown right here, this sloppy Joe Brown, of course.
And your dad's favorite fake judge, Joe Brown, rapper and infamous podcast host, Lord Jamar.
Yeah, this got another one. All of these guys are going to be in the next Hidden Colors. All of them. The Mr. Flat Earther, even though the Earth goes around 36 million miles, this guy's the new Flat Earther. Does like this guy and this dude he's still on Blad. He is still on Blad. Matter of fact, he doesn't even do his show anymore. This is like, dude, you have notoriety. You don't even do your own show anymore. You capitulated to Blad, and his last video on Blad, Lord Jamar laughs at Blad calling Dr. Umar, what is it, the Pan-African Prince of panhandling. Look, I don't fuck with Umar. I don't fuck with Blad, but you're sitting there discussing Umar with this white guy who doesn't give a fuck about the community, just wants to leech off of him. He should have just said, yo, yeah, this is between me and Umar. We'll handle Umar. As you can see, the black community is taking care of Umar. We don't need you in the picture, you know, laughing at him. Because what's happening with Umar and his daughter right now is pretty serious. His daughter's out here fighting, getting her head busted open, all right, talking suicide, taking whizzes in the street. You're laughing at this right now? No, we got this. We've been doing it, and you're not going to get him. This is what he should have said, but Lord Jamar has turned into such a Sambo. It's just sad to watch. It's bad.
Anti-Semitic, anti-vaccine, and anti-queer.
This one right here, of course, he's going to be in it. This weirdo, right? Lies. This guy lies on top of lies on top of lies. This dude. What type of, okay, I'm looking to see if his bow tie has any insignia. Usually, sometimes he has the Nation of Islam when he's doing that grift, or you can have the shot. And people don't seem to understand. This guy's a Scientologist. He's not in the NOI. He's a Scientologist.
Queer conspiracy theorist and Nation of Islam member Riza Islam. Comedian Corey Holcomb, for some reason, a bishop, because we all know religion loves.
Now, this guy right here, let me just say, this guy, I've been watching him on Twitter. He's been saying a lot of intelligent things. All right, listen. I mean, look, things that are very anti-FBA. That's not. He's not using the FBA rhetoric. Now, who knows? Maybe he saw what was going on and he moved away from this dude. But again, I'm waiting for Hidden Colors 6 to come out. All right, we'll see if he's left a plantation. But he said some pretty smart things. But we'll see if he's left a plantation. We'll see. I'm waiting.
Queer people and King Flex himself.
When he first made it on the scene, he was definitely a pimp. Didn't he even have a show on MTV calling himself K Flex?
All right.
I think I made my point, but he's not getting off the hook for playing a pimp to sell books to incels for several years. I cannot say it enough times. Dog, this man hates women. If you ask Tariq, he'll tell you these books, and I do mean books plural, are just jokes. I got proof that they aren't, because I read one. Even though I have made many humorous observations throughout the chapters, the contents in this book are very serious, and they are extremely effective. A lot of this information will benefit women directly and indirectly, because I give men tips on elevating themselves, verbally and sexually, which in turn,
go check out Morris World TV, his last video. He goes over how this guy stole this. He stole everything from, I forgot the name of the pimp, but he basically stole everything. He grifted off this dude and stole everything and, you know, took his content and marketed it better. That's all he did.
helps them satisfy women better.
The thing that blows my mind is that they let this dude go from pimp to hotel. I mean, I know why. It makes sense if you think about it for more than 5 seconds, but
Yeah,
on its
right.
face, it seems like it's something that should not be possible.
Only a man can do that.
You know, only a man can do
Why is he qualified to teach you how to mac? Apparently, he's macked thousands of women over the years. Y'all want to see some of these tips? Here's how he classifies women.
And let me just say this about that, all right? People say that he's a former pimp. I say he's not. He was never a pimp, all right? He was never in the streets like that, because if this dude was really in the streets like that, folks, really in the streets, and I've said this before, where are the street scriptures on Tariq Nasheed? Where are the stories on him? I'm not talking about snitching on him or, you know, some nefarious stuff, even though it's alleged that he might have done something fatal. It's alleged. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen official paperwork, but as far as his quote unquote pimping, there's no official street stories on this dude. All right. And I've said this before with 50 Cent. 50 Cent is from the streets. There are some stories about 50 Cent on them streets. Jay-Z, who was never a drug lord in my opinion, but he was on the street. There are some stories about this dude. There's stories about Nas. There's little stories here and there. There are no stories on this guy. None. There's no stories about, yeah, Tariq used to have like 5 hoes working at once in this hotel, and he used to switch it. There's nothing like that about Tariq. He heard somebody drop game, he wrote a book on it, and he marketed it. That's all it is.
If a woman puts up objections, in other words, asserts her right to bodily autonomy by saying no, he has a playbook for that too. Direct quote. If she says, I have a rule that I normally don't do it on the first date, you say, using rebuttal level 1, I like a woman who is spontaneous. I don't like girls who hold on to prerequisites about doing what they feel. I like a spontaneous woman because spontaneity is a sign of maturity. And maturity in a woman is sexy to me. And a woman who is mature enough to do what she wants to do when she wants to do it is very sexy to me. Ladies, interrupt me at any time if it's getting too sexy in here for you. He lists off the top 5 objections men should absolutely take heed to. And you'll notice that no ain't on there. In his world, a no is simply an opportunity to convince you. His magnum opus from this chapter of his life, based on what I was able to find, is a passage he denied writing on a live broadcast of the.
This right here. Now, this is the guy he's speaking to is the guy who you see. This is why I don't understand how Tariq has so much clout, where people are afraid to call him out on shit. The guy whose show he's on. Let me just continue this.
Lonzo and Dusty Vision show in 2023.
Lonzo. This guy Lonzo, right? Lonzo Williams used to own the club that Dr. Dre and DJ Yella got started with, and where their group got started. You remember Dr. Dre and, you know, dressed up with all the makeup and lipstick and the tight ass, you know, weirdo clothing, and he had that R&B group with Michelle A singing in the front. Okay, he is part of NWA legacy, Lonzo Williams. All right, so he has much more of a legacy than Tariq. And he allowed Tariq to come on here, and a woman came on, and she simply quoted what his book was, what was in the book. That's all. So let's listen to Tariq.
The purpose of writing that middle school and high school girls, when you look at them at that age, that you can tell that they're going to be potential whores.
All right, nobody.
He wrote that in the art of macking. In the art of macking.
You're alive. You trolling the other day.
I have the book. Quote, there are.
Here's what I don't understand, and he's going to quote the book, but listen. You could easily say, okay, I did it, but I think differently right now. This was me 30 years ago. Like, those who watch No Jumper, which by the way, speaking of No Jumper, I noticed it's kind of weird that a Pan-Africanist, former Pan-Africanist, is now a No Jumper employee. That's kind of weird to me, but I'll leave it alone. But everyone who's ever seen No Jumper, there's a guy in there named Poetic Flacco, who I know fairly well. He was in the Umar sector. He and I had a back and forth and so on. But um, Poetic Flacco was on his own platform and he was talking about the Umar situation. And people kept calling him out on all the fuckery he was doing when he was in that sector. He was doxing people. He was basically trying to destroy lives, lying on people. And he was saying, "Oh, look, that was me back then. I don't do it anymore," which is cap. Right? Because he still does a lot of fuck shit. Flacco is, if Flacco stops the fuckery, he knows his career's over. So it's too late for that now. But he says, "Oh, well, I changed. That was the past," because he knows he did some really foul shit, right? This guy is 30 years ago. He doesn't even want to admit. So here, this guy's got to read it for him.
Many contributing factors that make women want to become whores. And in most cases, these females are whores long before the pimp gets to them. If you look at the way these middle school and high school girls dress and carry on in different cities across the country, you can see the ones that are potential whores. This has more to do with their upbringing than the intervention of the pimp. In many cases, it's the girl's family that turned her out, so to speak. The pimp comes along after the fact to at least give her some guidance in her unfortunate profession.
Yes, Black Adam. That's Brandon. Brandon's now a No Jumper employee. So yeah.
Is who Tariq Nasheed still is. He has not evolved. Yeah, he changed his middle name to Allah because of course he did. You can tell him a documented fact about something he did or said, and he'll call you a troll, say you're arguing in bad faith. That's his favorite line. He emailed me that. And you know who that reminds me of? Donald Trump and every other dictator ever.
But see, I've been saying this. Look at what Trump does and look at how he operates. And these guys, whether it's Tariq, whether it's Umar, they don't like, I'm not saying they weren't like this before 2015, 2016, but they kind of were, and Trump kind of normalized it. Trump made it normal to be a troll. Just look at what Trump does now as your president. This guy speaking to the press conference, he's cussing like this guy gone full hillbilly on you dudes. Trump has gone full hill. He can say anything. Anything. And I even think if the Epstein thing comes out and he can be put in the most compromising position, I don't think that his followers still won't give a shit. If they didn't give a shit about the 34 counts and all they don't give a shit about anything. And these dudes do the same thing. Tariq could say anything. Look at all the shit that Cam James proved and wrong, and it doesn't matter with his followers.
Logical step after a loyal FBA watches a video like this is that they accuse me of slandering my fellow black man and ask me why I didn't invite him on, or why don't you debate Tariq? That'll clear it up. No, it won't. He's a habitual liar. Lying is his native tongue. What you've just watched is the most organized and thorough breakdown of everything Marcus Vincent Thomas has perpetrated on our people. And
well, hold on. Before you go, sir, let me just say this. Because you mentioned that he hates women. Yeah, I should have stopped you before because you said he hates women. I just want to show y'all he doesn't just hate women. He's not too fond of kids either. Let me just give you a reminder of that. All right. You said he hates women. Let me just remind you that he's not too big on children either. Hold on a second. Let me just get to that spot. Let me get there. Hold on. Let's go back. 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 Gotta play this, homie. Yeah. Hey, what video was it? Oh, actually, hold on a second. I know what I did. Hold on. Hold on a second. Here we go. Yeah, we can't forget this one here. Hold on. Let's show Tariq. Tariq loves the kids. Nah, I don't. Not really, bro. Let's listen to your boy. Let's listen to him.
So let's get you on here. What's up, Virgil?
Yo.
So they said you've been trolling in the room. I haven't seen.
I'm not trolling. I'm trying to talk to you. So I feel like that y'all are hate. What?
Calm down, nigga.
I feel like you hating, bro.
Nigga, calm the fuck down, bro.
Just again, listen to the N word and like what is this, bro? You supposed to be the elder, and this is how you teach a young boy.
Your energy real funny style. Calm down.
No, I feel like you hating.
All right, but first calm the
I'm
fuck.
calm,
Calm,
bro.
nigga.
I'm saying
All
I
right,
feel like
let's slow down.
all the
down,
FBA
nigga.
stuff is like it's like hating. Like why are you even saying that stuff? Like why would you put on Instagram?
Where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm from New York. Why would y'all like?
Where is your family from?
From Jamaica.
Okay, shut the fuck up and respect foundational Black Americans.
I'm not respecting none of that coon shit. What are you talking about?
Nigga, the coon is you and
Why?
your coward fucking family that had to bounce because you failed in Jamaica. Nigga.
Look at this.
That's
because
the
we failed in
cowards.
Jamaica.
You failed in fucking Jamaica.
And then what happened? What happened to everybody that's in America?
Nigga, we still here fighting. That's what we doing. We didn't run like bitches.
So you
ran like a bitch.
So FBA.
I'm saying you.
Wait, no.
Bitch.
I'm asking you. Let me ask you.
You ran like a bitch.
Let me ask you something. FBA.
I'm telling you. No, don't ask me nothing.
No, because I'm tasking
your
what you talking
family.
about.
Your
FBA,
family
yo,
ran like
FBA
bitches.
support Malcolm X.
This.
Nigga, your family ran like
does FBA
bitches.
support Malcolm X?
You ain't at liberty to say nothing
saying,
about
does
the
FBA
foundation of
support
Black
Malcolm
Americans.
X?
Nigga,
FBA
Malcolm X
support
ain't got
Malcolm X.
nothing. The Malcolm X was half foundational Black American. You ain't got nothing to do with
You
Malcolm
say
X.
he was half?
Yes, he was.
But
his dad was a foundational Black American.
The whole thing
His
that he
dad
talking
was
about
a
came from a
foundational Black
Jamaican nigga. What are you
American.
talking about?
Nigga, first of all, Marcus Garvey was a Jamaican. He said y'all weren't shit. Marcus Garvey didn't get shit popping in Jamaica. He got it popping here.
Where did he say that Marcus wasn't that he wasn't shit? But I want you to listen to the whole video and watch at the end.
Try to tell the Marcus Garvey lie. Marcus Garvey left Jamaica in disgust because of coons like your bitch ass. Nigga, don't come over here running your fucking mouth.
Everywhere,
that
bro.
dumb
There's
shit.
coons everywhere.
And at least we got coons
everywhere.
that stay here. We don't flee. You're not at liberty to say nothing about a foundation of Black America.
Flee where?
Fled
where?
You fled your homeland.
Jamaica.
You fled your homeland.
Yo, you know what?
You're right there to fight.
No. Hold on.
You didn't stay there to fight and make it better.
All right, let me calm down.
You didn't stay there and fight to make your country better, my nigga. So you can't say nothing.
Excuse me. I just told you about the Steve Ballmer, the owner of the LA Clippers. Families from Germany. He's a first-generation American. Did he flee? We can go down Europeans who've come here. What about Vivek? Did Vivek flee? Are you going after him? Do you go after any other group? Because people love saying, "Oh, I ain't gonna go to Africa." Okay, I understand that. Comparing Africa and all these countries, do you ever compare it to Europe? You want me to go through YouTube videos and show you the ghettos in places like Italy? In England, my family's from England. I went down to Leeds. Leeds looks like freaking Brownsville. Seriously? Italy? Greece? Denmark? You think none of these places got hoods? Look at this.
To us. We stay here and make our shit better. We go through the hardships and we stay to
okay, FBA people. Okay, nah. We gotta have a whole come to Jesus moment. Make better what? Show me what make better how? How many hoods are there? How come you if you made things better, why do you keep talking about the hood? Every major city, there's a hood with your name on it. What are you talking about? I told you this is some talented 10th bullshit. That's what this shit is. What made what better? These people move here, they go to the hood. What are you talking about?
Make it better, my nigga.
Hold on, let me calm
you ain't in
down.
Jamaica.
How come
You are
ain't in
right.
Jamaica, how come you ain't in Jamaica fighting for your family
Right,
and your
let this nigga
lineage,
talk.
my
This nigga
nigga?
don't even want to talk.
How come you ain't in Jamaica talking that gully shit you talking? You ain't in Jamaica? How come you ain't there fighting, nigga? You got
You did this to a kid like more than half your age for your goofy fans, nigga. Really?
all that mouth here. You ain't over there getting the Asians and the Indians off their ass in Jamaica.
So hold on. Oh wait, listen to what this fool says.
Jamaica all the time, nigga. So don't have all that smoke for us, and you ain't got it for.
So wait, you go to Jamaica all the time and hang where? You just see blacks in dilapidated areas? Is that what you're saying? Or do you go where all the tourists go? Are you saying, okay, show me if Jamaica's so bad, what did you do to help them? Show the video. Or are you out there smoking weed?
Them.
Thank
you. Have a good night, nigga. Fuck off my phone, nigga. That's how you handle that. You don't call up talking nothing to a foundational black American and you done fled, nigga.
Guys, let me show you a book because again, a lot of you are fucking slow. I understand that. I haven't read this book yet, all right, but I am going to read every time I see this, right? Here's the book, folks. Here's the book. Let me get off here for a second and show you the book. Okay? This book is called Warmth of Other Suns. All right? The epic story of America's Great Migration. That's you Negroes. That's what this book's about. The story about America's Great Migration. That's black people. All right. I know he doesn't encourage you guys to read or enlighten yourselves. I understand that. I get that. I get it. I get it. All right. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Let's continue. Let's just go back to that video and I'll show you how much of how much of a piece of garbage this dude is.
The fuck, don't come gully for us. And the Asian nigga, I go to Jamaica.
Nasheed, yes, he did. Absolutely he did. But they don't want to talk about that though. They don't want to talk about that. Let's continue. Let's go back to this.
All the time. I'm in Jamaica all the fucking time, dude. I love Jamaica. I got a lot of respect in Jamaica, but there's a coon class in Jamaica.
Why would you go to some place that's dilapidated? Well, you go to Jamaica all the time, but it's dilapidated, right? Seriously? So you go, it's like me going to Queensbridge every day for vacation, like the Queensbridge housing projects for vacation. Or some Detroit housing project or whatever housing project for vacation. Is that what you're saying?
Jamaica.
Unbelievable.
That comes over here with the dumb shit. They don't fuck with niggas like this in Jamaica. They don't fuck with niggas like this.
Wait, who's they? Who's they? They meaning people from the hood? Or Jamaica? Like, this is what I'm saying. Who's they? Who's they? But he doesn't have to give any proof. This is what it is. Now watch this.
I rock with real Jamaican niggas heavy. Look at my queen right here. Look at my fucking queen. First of all, let's stop.
Yeah. The half Haitian, half Jewish queen. Haiti, the place that you always bash. Are we serious?
Also, my goddamn queen and my doggies. What's up, sweetie?
Unbelievable.
I had to get on a Jamaican coon.
Wow. This is, guys, this is insane. This is just craziness.
But like I said, no, he was about to talk. First of all, you said let him speak. First of all, this nigga came in disrespect.
Get the fuck out of here, man. This is what I'm saying, y'all. And this is what your movement is built off of. This shit. Let's just finish this off. This is almost done here. But Cam, yeah, he doesn't like women. He doesn't treat kids any better either.
There's hours worth of transgressions I had to leave out. I'm not here to diss him all day. I'm here to send a message. The Black community has been deeply hurt and abused and betrayed and insulted by both white people and, yes, plenty of individual immigrants. These slights he chooses to zoom in on actually happened.
Black America has set the tone for the world culturally. And I won't dispute that in any regard. And I get how it feels, yet again, to see that stolen, to go on TikTok and to see a palm-colored pasty white chalk-looking fella rap lyrics, mouth lyrics with the N-word in it, and have Ian and Post Malone adorn blackness like a costume and take it off when it sees fit. I'm mad for you. That's what they've been doing from time. When they've been taking your gold and taking your resources, they did that to me too. You shouldn't be mad with me. We should all focus ourselves on the institution itself.
The problem is that righteous anger is being diverted from white supremacy and aimed at those standing next to you in the streets. The ones who've been here literally the whole time.
You're starting from a genuine place of hurt and agreement. If I sit down with Tariq Nasheed, we're going to agree that Black situation in America is up and something needs to be done.
Exactly.
But then he's going to start breaking down blood quantums and eugenics. You know,
I would never even sit down with you. Like, these people should be run out of the community already, man. I mean, let me just, you know, a couple of days ago, I went over to Dynas, you know, the Search for Uhuru. I mean, I don't fuck with him like that anymore because but you know, there was a subject about Umar. Is he bad for Pan-Africanism? And I had to go up on the panel like, duh. We've been telling you this for 5-6 years now. 7. We've been telling you this for decades. So I really just went in, and there was another guy that came on, and he just started saying, well, hold on a second. How do you say that Umar is scamming? He got the building. Okay, now this dude, and you know, maybe I shouldn't have screamed and stuff, but come on, man. He got the building. The answer to that was like 6 years ago. We told you he got the building because he collected all that money. People were asking him what's going on with the school. He kept dodging questions and so on, to the point they had to call up GoFundMe and PayPal, and he had to use the money he had to get something. So he went and got those abandoned buildings, and he hasn't moved on it since. But I couldn't sit down and argue with this dude. I said, like, you know what, I can't. Look, you know, you just go watch a video. So I couldn't sit down and argue with them. But I wouldn't sit down with Tariq at all, man. You got to push these guys out of the community.
And I'm be like, exactly. I guess that was the end of that moment of connection. He's the Michael Jordan of grifting.
He is a master.
He is a master of this.
We aren't the only country reacting to a perceived threat in the form of our immigrant family. But if we don't recognize the real threat, we'll be the first to backslide into authoritarian rule at this scale.
Them slums and shanty towns that people live in, and the slop and bushmeat and goop scoops that they eat. Because a lot of people from different parts of Africa who come over here, they'll try to project their own insecurities onto us.
So we've walked y'all through 6 stages of genocide. There's 4 more: preparation, persecution, extermination, and denial. Like we said before, he's not equipped to carry out the rest of these, but there is one that he has a lot of practice in, and we've already shown you.
All we do, a lot of times, we just post videos and images from their homeland. A lot of times I don't even put real captions on them. I'm like, hey, what's this guy's eating?
If that's what's happening in their homeland, why are you visiting? Why would you go there on vacation? That's my question. That's the only thing I'm asking. I've been in Jamaica all the time. Okay, what are you doing down there? If they're so bad, are you helping? Or are you going to where the rich people are going to help oppress them more? Are you going to hang with the Chinese and help oppress? What are you doing down there if you're not helping? Why would you go? How come you never hear these guys visiting, you know, the beaches of North Carolina, the Liberty Bell, the plains of Montana? You never hear them going there. Man, I mean, we can just go on this all day, man. I mean, I'm almost done here. Like, dude,
He's inspired copycats. Just look at the black.
This weirdo right here. I'm glad he spoke about him. This guy is a total clown. This one. This is another one. In fact, let me show you something about this guy. Let me just get on this fool for a second. All right. I've already shown you the other one of his other lieutenants, but come on, man. And by the way, don't post something on Twitter. Well, let me just go here for a sec. I'm not. No. I'm not gonna do that. Get out of here. Let's look at this silly post that he had. Now, first of all, let's see. Yeah, let's go to this post that this guy has. All right. Again, these people, they're not even worth the time I take to scratch my ass in the morning. They really aren't. I told you before this was a grift, and this is all these guys care about. You see this? This is a grift. We know that the FBA and bashing immigrants and Black American stuff, we know that's where the money is. So this is what this is about. All right. 30,000 subs, certified, blah, blah, blah. But let's go down. Let's go down. Guys, look at this bullshit. Damn, the same day FBA are boycotting African businesses. No, you're not. I just told you about what you call it, the store in Brooklyn. All right. I just told you about it. Nobody's boycotting shit. All right. Nobody's boycotting anything. But let's just Nicholas in Brooklyn. I told you they don't know about you dudes. But look at this shit. Now tethers are melting down all across social media. But yeah, here it is. The same day FBA are boycotting African businesses, Donald Trump just unleashed tariffs on 20 African nations, and you're cheering this nigga? You're cheering this. I mean, look at this coonery. Now the tethers are melting down all across social media, begging FBA to cancel. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, I'm just getting physically sick. Why tether good? You're praising this guy, and you're saying they didn't vote for Trump or they didn't push you towards voting for Trump. You're gonna believe that. You're gonna believe that. Look at this. This is what this guy's rooting for. Look at this. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You're proud of this? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Trump. Crazy, man. This is crazy. Well, let's continue. Let's go on. Let's just
Black
this
Alpha
fool.
Network.
First off, I gotta give a shout out to all Black Americans, okay? The whole reparations generation, let's make that clear. And there's one thing for certain, and that is they not like us. Never have. Damn it.
Listen, Tahaka Bay, if you ever catch wind of this video, you gotta get Moochie Bear on the case with this. I think that some of these dudes, as we've seen with some of the people that Tariq hangs with, a lot of them have really shaky backgrounds. I think you're gonna find the same thing with this dude. I really do.
Feel good. Don't it feel good to wake up every day in the land that your ancestors built, not immigrated to, not fled to?
Guys, I guess gotta say, you built it under duress, right? You built it not knowing if you were gonna make it through the day. You built it not knowing if you know you woke up not knowing if you were gonna meet your death before the day was up. That's under the conditions you built it under. Are we serious?
Tariq Nasheed is the ops. He's a tool of white supremacy and a deceptively effective manipulator who's concerned only with enriching himself. He's following the same path as the failed dictators he's emulating, unleashing slurs and hate speech on people who look just like us to consolidate his own social and financial capital. Do not delude yourself. People who are this mad and irrational online are only pretending to like their immigrant coworkers and acquaintances in real life. As I showed you with Winsome Pendleton, these feelings don't dissipate when they leave their keyboards. We're at the precipice of extremely dangerous terrain. And if we don't cut the head off this snake as one people, hate crimes are next in line. Apathy only feels like strength through the warped lens of bitterness. Your pain is genuine, but you're following a bullshit artist. Y'all got the information now. Can't say I didn't tell you.
Yeah, and again, the only criticism I have of this dude, all right, on what he's done, and again, he can't go after everything. It's impossible. But bro, welcome to like 6 years ago, right? And like we've been on this, and let me also, he does have a he has a part 2 on this, all right? He has a part 2. And let me just show you how the part 2 started, and then I gotta roll up out of here. But yeah, man, like, where is it at? He has a part 2. He has a part. I just want to show you the beginning of this video and some of the tweets and the messages that this guy got from these weirdos. All right. So just look at the tweets that he's gotten. Hold on. I'm going to X out of this. Just look at what these guys were saying. Look at this. Look at this. Now he told you at the very beginning of the video that he is a black American. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You see this? Guys, hold on. Let's just go back there for a second. Let's go back there. I told you these are not all bots. Some of these are real people. Look at this. Look at this. You see this? Look at this. Look at this. Jamaican tether. This guy, some of these, this, pay attention to the guys who show their face. Some of these guys show their face. Huh? Jamaican tether. This is tether babble by a cosplaying immigrant. Look at this. These guys are showing their face. Tether babble. Tether talk. Must see tether babble. Look at this. Found the angry tether. And again, and I said this in in the last video. Tether, your definition of tether was, oh, someone who doesn't ride with black Americans in this struggle. First of all, why should any quote unquote tether be motivated to ride with people who hate them? Explain that. At least the dominant society pays you, right? You go to jail, they may hate you, but at least they give you a paycheck. You want us to do it for nothing. Look at this shit. Hope you got a bulletproof. Guys, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. All right. Extermination was one of the next steps that they talked about. I'm telling you, it's going to happen where some sort of violent encounter is going to happen. I'm telling you. Look at this. Look at this. Unbelievable. Here goes some. Let's just go on. Let's do some more stuff. Tethers complain they are no longer allowed to cosplay black Americans. Oh my God. You tethers keep undermining FBA reparations. Well, how? Oh my God. What? First of all, what? God. Oh Lord. What reparations? Let me just go to the chat for a second. Thanks for coming. What reparations? Oh, good Lord. Papa Legbutt. Yeah, man. Yeah. These are not, listen, again, Nasheed, these are real people, a lot of them. They're not all bots. Some of these, I showed y'all from that other guy. They're giving real money. Some of these are real people. Wow, let's see. They found an angry tether. Good grief. 82 times. I'm going to end this with this one video that I saw. Oh my God. And this dude, and I don't know, like the dude is really ignorant, but you know what? Let me just go here. And then thanks for coming through, y'all. These people are sick. Like this is a sickness, folks. It really is. I want to just yeah. Hold on. Let's go down. Yeah. Oh, comments, of course. Yeah. His name Papa Lek, but I mean, listen, bro. And thanks, Funk Soldier. I just want to get to one. I'm kind of afraid to even play this. I don't know what YouTube will do if I play this, but let me go ahead and do it anyway. Good grief. Hold on. Nope. Let me go and go here. Let me get that video. All right. By the way, rest in power, Hitman Howie T. For those who know hip hop, all right, Nasheed, I know you know hip hop. I don't know if you know New York hip hop, but Hitman Howie T, producer Roxanne, Chubb Rock's cousin. All right. Yeah, he had passed away today. But yeah, here it is. Let's see. Yeah. This guy is right here. Hold on. Let's listen to this, dude. Let's see. All right. Hold on. I think this is important to. Let's see. Where's it at? All right. Press here. And this is a good way to end the show, and just to show you the poison that's being pushed out there. I don't think YouTube will take this down because it is anti-black, anti-African. So let's listen to this guy. This guy is he's part. I don't think he knows what he is. I mean, I think he's part Israelite as well when I looked at some of his pages, but let's listen to this fool. Hold on, I'll play it back. All right. Okay. All right. Let's go, y'all. Listen to this, dude. Just listen to this. All right.
African culture.
Listen.
We got to talk about Africans for real, because Africans asked a great question. What is Black American culture? Black American culture is the Bible. Black American culture is God's commandments. Black American culture is keeping God's commandments. We win the kingdom at the end. That's Black American culture. That's what we're not Black Americans. We are the Israelites. What is African culture? I mean, I know when you wash your kid's head in cow pee. You know, I see a lot of Africans, they bend their head under cows and let cows piss on their head. They eat mud pies. They sing around and dance a jigaboo song around fire and chase lions with sticks.
Now, mind you, try not to pay attention to the fact that this guy looks like he hasn't taken a bath in days himself. But let's continue.
You know what I mean? And swing from trees like monkeys. What is African culture? I mean, we can clearly understand and see now that we are not African. We don't even look like them. Ashy and dark and long and lanky, necks like aliens. And if it was really an alien on this species in this world, it would be Africans. That their bone structure is just so awkward and off. And they all got this look to their face, like you know what I mean? Like it just don't look like a person. Like somebody just put clay together and just here, go live. You know what I mean? Like, what is African culture? How can you ask us what Black American culture is when you don't even know your culture? Y'all drink blood from cows. You know how sickening it is? Y'all don't even live past 35.
Hold on, I got to stop this guy for a second, because the fact that he said that you drink blood from cows, dude. White hunters here who hunt deer, they do that. Guys who hunt, you know, the hunters, these white guys who got their gun and they hunt deers and stuff. That's a ritual. After shooting the deer, the diseased deer, they drink the blood from the deer. And this is the person who is highly uneducated, and he is bold enough to go in front of the world and say, "Yeah, this is what I think."
In Africa right now is probably 42. You know what I mean? Like, how dare Africans come against Black Americans? And you right now is probably 42. Blood from cows. You know how sickening it is? Y'all don't even live past 35. The oldest.
Oh my God. And he's seriously saying this.
African in Africa right now is probably 42.
Huh?
You know what I mean? Like, how dare Africans come against Black Americans? And you got the nerve to say these things in America, where we fought and died and overcame so many things for y'all ashy Black asses to get up here and talk crazy like.
Dude, you ain't overcome soap, obviously, or toothpaste or any shit like that, bro. You ain't overcome bleach for that shirt you're wearing. Come on, bro.
That crazy. Boycott the shit out of everything African. Let them know their place. They are even lower than whites in the world. You know what I mean? Like their whole language is just all just combine all of the African. How many countries in Africa? 107.
Oh my
Not
God.
one of them are ran by Africans.
Oh my
The
God.
smartest person in Africa lives in Burkina Faso, and like he's the only person in Africa that ever had his own crops, that actually dug gold and kept it. I mean, Africans work for nothing but white people. How do you let
I
white
know, and FBA people, they work for themselves and they're independent. I get it. Go on.
people, a number of white people come down in your continent and take over the whole goddamn place, and then stick a fork in South Africa and say, "This is
Just like they came over to this country and took over the whole damn place that you supposedly own and build. Go on.
our land," and then beat y'all backs in because and tell y'all can't even come in their swimming pools. Do not go on their beaches. And it's supposed to be yours. Africans are the weakest people in the world. If they were a link, it would be the weakest link ever.
Damn.
Don't ever question what black culture is. Y'all don't even take baths. It's 30 of y'all in every house in America. Y'all walk around on feet like when I don't care if it's a
Guys, this just gets worse. Trust me, as bad as it is, it gets worse. And even if you're trolling, all right, you're gonna put this out in the atmosphere. The internet is forever, bro.
120 degrees outside. Y'all walk around on your feet. Your shit don't even burn. Y'all don't even cook y'all food. You go in any African house in America, it's more flies than people.
Damn, man.
There's so many goddamn flies in African people houses. They got their own bed. I seen a fucking fly and a rat cooking in the kitchen one day in the African crib. I went there to sell them some shit. Yeah, the damn flies looked at me like, I go Google what you do, buddy.
Listen, guys, this is not a comedian. This is not a parody site. Go to his platform. This is exactly what this guy thinks. Matter of fact, what is it? Voice 11. Good grief. Yeah, this is not this. No. What did you see this? Yeah. But this is, even if you're trolling, this is what you're gonna troll with. Oh, let me just go to dude's is it TikTok? All right, let me go see. TikTok. What is this guy's name? What's this weirdo's name? Voice 1123. Come on. BOC. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. All right. It's normal for us not to wash, to eat cows. Yeah, guys, this is not a troll site. God is coming for the punishment of Africans and Caucasians. Let's go over to his platform and let's see this, and then we're gonna call this a day. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put the link here so we can just switch over. All right. Yeah, but it just kept getting worse. But look at this. Yeah, this is him. What does God can't say about Caucasians? Again, read. This is an Israelite. All right, it's an Israelite. All right. God is coming for the punishment of Africans. Sorry, y'all, because Africans were trying to get our reparations. Come on, you can't. This is not something to even troll. This is not something to troll with. Come on, guys. Yeah. So again, listen. Thanks for coming. Go check out Cam James. All right. Go check out his content. Again, even because I did see comic in there, but you don't joke like you. That's not something that's not joking, bro. That is not joking. That's not joking. Listen, go check out some content creators. You know the information, man. Check him out. Sandy Girl, she also has a YouTube channel. All right. What you call it? Nasheed for you. She's got a YouTube channel as well. All right. Bitter Medicine Podcast. Thanks for coming through. All right. And yes, rest in peace, Hitman Howie T. Yeah, Roxanne and Chubb Rock especially. Chubb must be devastated. He's devastated. But he did his thing. Brooklyn and the whole nine. Special ed as well, as you know. Yeah, man. Last call. Check him out. But yeah, I had to do this, man, and just go through Cam James. And Cam, do not strike my channel. All right. If you didn't strike Afro Elite, all right, the white guy with an afro, then don't strike me, because this is just something that this was for purposes, as it says, fair use purposes. But yeah, man, hit the like button before you leave. Hit share, hit subscribe. If you got any comments, leave the comments on the bottom. Go ahead and leave the comments on the bottom and let me know, right, what you think about this dude. All right. Because this man, if you're thinking about getting reparations, you can forget it. This guy destroyed your reparations movement. It's over. It's over. There's no reparations coming. None. None. All right. And if you want to get your reparations, get rid of some of these grifters. Like I said, this was based on Tariq, but Ado's caught a couple of strays and mess around, and he may go ahead and do something on Ados. And if you didn't see anything on Ados, go check Taharka Bay, Moorish World TV. He's going after all of them. Thing I like about Taharka, he's a Moor, but he doesn't give altar calls. That's for him. That's for his life. That gives him structure. That's fine. And he goes after Moors too. All right. But I'm telling you, man, I mean, every time you're trying to move ahead, there's some infiltrator that comes in. You got to know when they come. This is one of them. And I'm saying this now early when, everybody still thinks this guy's legit. Just like I and others said back, 5-6 years ago about Umar, you thought he was legit. Look where he is at now. Don't be surprised if this guy right here, Sneaky Reeky, is the next guy you say, gee, what were we listening to? So peace out, y'all. Have a good night. Thanks for coming through. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the Cash App as well. It's in the sticky right there. So hit the Cash App if you can. I'd appreciate it if Tariq can get some monetization for schooling y'all. Hey, I need money for a lineup. All right. And I don't have any wig, or I don't have any man unit either. My lineup is real. I got the real here. So yeah, man, thanks for coming through. Big up on yourself, man. And until next time, peace.